Welcome to the Weekend Stakes Preview Show. I'm Scotty McKeever, and today we're diving into the most exciting stakes races of the weekend. Whether you're a seasoned handicapper or new to the game, we've got you covered with our expert insights, top picks, and everything you need to know about this weekend's biggest races. My partner tonight, Justin Sampson. What up, brother? I got the whiskey. I'm ready to go.
I'm good, but I'm getting an echo. Are you getting an echo from me?
I'm not.
Oh, I am.
Maybe it's your headset.
Let me try to fix it. You keep talking, and I will make sure. Okay.
What's up, Anthony? I haven't seen Anthony in a while. Jared as well. What's going on, guys? Mike and Brad Anderson's in the house, and Rodney. What's up, Greg? How are you guys? So listen, we're going to be covering a lot of stakes races today. Going to try to get to Sunday's races as well. Saratoga, all New York bred races, all stakes races on Sunday. What's up, Razor in the house? Chuck Brower. What's going on? I can tell you I handicapped almost every race for tomorrow. And then I had to go do some things and take care of some things. But any better, Justin? Well, Justin, if you can hear me, just I'll start the races. Race number 5 over. It's called the Smart and Fancy Stakes.
I'm fixed.
You're good. Okay, good.
Yeah, I just had the YouTube in the background was going at the same time. That's the type of day it's been.
Okay, well, there we go. Are you ready to go? Like,
yes.
It's kind of been a long day. Mike Saletta, what's going on, brother? All right. I feel really good about tomorrow, and so in this race here, Irad is off the 4-horse or the 1-horse, and I believe the 6-horse to ride the 4 Roses for Deborah. Let's run the race. We'll get into a rhythm here, but we'll run the race. But the 4-horse Roses for Deborah, who's 6-5 on the EquinEdge morning line, is 3-1, kind of a lukewarm 3-1, and also 31%. And the 7-horse on the is going to get a nice lead. I don't think this horse is impossible as well. Paco is going to break this horse out good, and this horse could be dangerous. This is a really tough race. And then late, the Godolphin Stables had the 3-horse Star Guest as a price play, and 5-2 on the EE morning line, and 25%. Look at that. Aside from the 2 and 5, which I threw out, yeah, exactly, Jared. I mean, this race looks just really rough, tough on paper. But did you get a chance to look at this race?
No, I did. I looked at. It was funny. This was you and I talked, and we were looking at stakes races. And the first thing I look at in the order is I see there's like 8 Charlestown stakes races on Friday, but we're not covering that. We're covering Saratoga. So I went straight to Saratoga because I'm like, I knew we'll cover Saratoga. I agree with you. I thought this race was actually fairly wide open. I think Roses for Deborah, she's been great, to be honest. I'm not surprised to see Irad land here. I think she is for sure a player. I do agree on cutting the 2. I did find, a tad bit of interest in Glitter Up, but I do agree she might not be a player, but the 5. But I thought Roses for Deborah would be tough. I mean, she's won at Saratoga. She ran really well here last summer as the favorite. Won at 78 and 80. This is a tough race, so I just thought it was really, really competitive. I thought she was one of my probably top picks here, Scotty, as well as I know that we talk about Appleby and William Buick later for probably the Saturday card, but Pratt rides the 3 Star Guest for Appleby, and
yeah,
I thought that maybe she really does fit here, I think, in this race. I know she ran well last out in the grade 3 Caris, similar win percent, the mid-20s to 30s. She has burned money, Scotty, and we talk. I don't love that about the 3, so it's why I kind of landed back towards Roses with Deborah. I was not a huge fan, of the 6-horse Money's Gold. I think again is probably a player, but it does have 1 start on the turf. You do have the big morning line angle for Fletcher and Johnny V. Shown I think showing some ability here, but I think for me, and I agree, the 7 on the front end for Paco and Trombetta, I was landing on, Roses for Deborah here is where I landed. But I do think it's a competitive race. And if I was playing horizontal, I'm probably for sure not singling this leg. I would be using a few.
All right, so my point, the 6 horses earned $390,000 in 8 tries, but Irad's not getting off of a Pletcher horse unless he's going to be on a better horse. 1, 2, this horse clearly needs the lead. It just does, and if it doesn't get the lead, it doesn't run good. It ran in a Grade 2 race. By the way, that Grade 2 race was an 84 SOR. It was very tough. Had an outside post and ended up losing by 3 lengths. It maybe is because the horse didn't get the lead, or it's maybe because the race was just very tough. This is an easier race than what the 6 ran in last time out. That being said, the 7 is faster.
I mean, the 6 first time turf, right? I mean, and this is not, I mean, it is just a $150,000 stakes, not graded, but it is competitive. And that's where I kind of got a little bit away from the 6, Scotty, just because I didn't necessarily love I mean, has burned money here too. The 6 burned money too on dirt, so yeah, I think you get the Irad factor. It is a favorite at Saratoga, which can be dangerous, but she just looks the goods here. I mean, and again, I think if I was to look at, somebody who's burned a little bit of money, it would be more the 3 for me than the 6 for Applebee's. So
I'm not hating on this 3 as much as you are. I'm actually impressed with this 3. It's been in the money in 8 of 9 tries. Last time out against the first time here in the country, and in a Grade 3 race. I mean, that means you like this horse. And that was a 76 group, and the horse broke 9th of 10. And was six wide or 7 wide at the top of this stretch against a tough field and a big field, by the way. There was 9
much
horses,
bigger,
right?
Yeah.
9 horses in the race. Not going to get that this time. And the simulator is saying that the horse is going to be, not too far back. I mean, look at this. I mean, this race is crazy. Even the 6 horses right there. What's interesting about the 6, I will say, is when you see the double blue, like the dark blue there, that means the horse is just rolling, right? And so, I mean, if they go fast, if the 6 horse needs the lead like I think that she needs, and the 7 needs the lead, well, the 7 can rate some, actually. So, but Paco's not, I don't think Paco's not one to screw around. I highly doubt that Paco's going to sit back and rate off of this field. But look, he rated here in a Grade 2 race and won. Maybe he lets the 6 go, which would be a mistake. And then if he lets the 6 go, they're really not going all that fast. What's up, Crypto? I mean, first of all, Irad's getting off of the 1 and the 6 to ride the 4 horse, and the 1 horse is the Christophe Clement. By the way, the Christophe Clement is getting hot. And so you might want to watch Christophe Clement all weekend long. This horse is 31%. Maybe we have the morning line wrong on this horse. I don't know. I think this horse is tactical, going to be sitting a good trip. I'm going to go with the 4 horse. And,
the one before we go to the next race, Scotty, I didn't even talk about the one. It is the top pick. So here, is closing, is the top GSR. You do have Joel, and I heard a lot of people talking about Joel today at Saratoga. I guess there was a DQ or something on Joel Costin. I don't know, but I didn't get a chance to watch it. But the one has won a Grade 3, is tactical, run great at 5.5, has won, and broke its maiden, and has been on the rail, right? So has won at Saratoga, won last out, right, in the 76. So, and again, has been on the rail before back at Aqueduct, and has again won at Saratoga twice. So I looked at 1, 4, 3, Scotty, were my kind of 3 players here. I do think the 7 might have a shot on the lead. I was just looking for somebody to come off the pace for me. So probably sit close. I think between the 1, 3, 4, I think you have a great group of horses. I think that fit here, but it is a competitive race like we talked about. So
I genuinely don't think the 7's classy enough, but look, even at the second call, the system is saying that the 7's going to be over 2 lengths in front.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is at 5.5 furlongs. That is absolutely deadly. And so, man, I mean, this race is tough. But when you go over and you click on this and you see this 6-horse, could the 6-horse really look? Is the 6-horse going to sit back and make a run? Maybe. Listen, maybe the horse is just so fast that it gets the lead all the time. And it faced that was an 84 group. Today's a 78 to put that in perspective. That grade 2 race was one of the toughest grade 2s I've ever seen. There's only 4 other horses, but that was a rough race. This is a great race, but how do you play it? Okay, I know we got to move on because we have a lot of them, but how do you play this race? If you're playing in a pick 5 or whatever, what are you supposed to do to finish off here? How are you supposed to play it? Are you supposed to just go with Irad, who, by the way, could be in last place early on? I mean, right?
I couldn't single the 4. Not for me. Not in this race. Not at the end here. I I didn't see it. I think that maybe it's Chris typing that, but I don't love a few of these horses, Scotty. So that's the thing. Like, I probably would just play with my conviction, to be honest, and I would probably just use 1, 3, 4, because to be honest, I mean, if the 2 just gets the lead, Rivera might be dangerous as the Scotty long shot, but I don't see it happening. I think that I just don't love the 6 on the move to turf. I think, probably going to run an okay race, but that's where I just don't see getting up to win. I see, the Pratt Irad race here on the turf. So.
Well, and if you look at this race, though, the 3-horse, this 3-horse got 6th by 1 3/4 lengths and was just motoring. And that was the first time. And that was off a layoff as well. Like, you have to figure this horse is going to be acclimated, ready to go. I probably lean towards Pratt finishing and running a good race, but I cannot wait. First of all, I can't wait for a lot of these races, but this is going to be a really great race. And whoever you like, you're most likely going to get odds. I think the 4 could get over bet. And this is my guess. My guess is Irad had to make a really tough call. That's my guess. But for him to get off the 6-horse and a Pletcher horse, because Irad is Pletcher's main guy, I think that speaks volumes too. But I'm all over there. But what about the EquinEdge picks? The EquinEdge picks have the 1 horse who you might get 3 or 4 to 5 to 1, won 3 straight races.
Well, somebody said in the chat again, I mean, this horse has run really great races, and it's the other Clement. So it does not surprise me. Again, that's where I for sure would be using the 1 in a horizontal. Has run well. Yes, you have Joel, but I do think, I love him probably coming a little bit more off the pace than on the lead, to be honest. But, I mean, then again, the 6, top Scotty's hitting. That's good to hear.
No, it's been on fire. The Scotty picks have just been insane. That algorithm is just stupid good. It's been fantastic. I don't know. This is a really tough one. I'm hesitating because I really want to, I think in a race like this, you have to try to find an angle. And I think you can make a point about all these horses. I will say this horse has been 36% to 6, 30, 41, 31, 28, 34, 26. And look, it's won a lot of them, but every one of them has been on the lead. And now this horse is 12%. Does that tell you how tough the race is? And also, can you believe Irad gets off of this horse? He's ridden this horse the last 7 times, and he gets off of this. Who gets off of this horse? That's crazy.
I think he just loves
this race is.
He loves roses for Deborah. I think that's his girl. He has won. You see Rosario rode a while back there at Belmont too, but Irad been riding the last 6-8 races. So,
what threw me off a little bit with this horse is what the heck happened here against a 66 group at 37% in this. I mean, obviously this horse was not doing well in these 2 races, and then hence the layoff, and then came back here, beat a 76 group, and then went up and then had another layoff. this horse likes to win, but my guess is maybe this horse has some issues. Maybe there's some issues there, and you can't afford to have any issues in a group like this. But he also gets off the one horse, and both these horses, the 4 and the 1, are for Christophe Clement. You would imagine that he's choosing the horse that he feels has the best chance of winning.
Yeah.
And so I would imagine that horse is going to be very tough. And I probably would give a big look here at this 3 horse. I think Appleby's got this horse ready to go, and this horse might run a good race. But there's not a lot of pace in this race, really. So, all right. Oh, I guess we're going to have to leave it at that. I'm having a hard time with it because I really want to narrow down on something, but I just don't know. So let's go to race number 10 on Friday at Saratoga. And we've got the Personal Ensign Stakes, I believe. Yes. And it's a short field. Why do I feel like Idiomatic can lose this race?
Because, I mean, if you talk about a favorite, Idiomatic, a big favorite here. Right, I mean, 2-5 on the EquinEdge for Brad Cox, flow rides. I mean, she the real deal, though. I mean, she no joke. I mean, won 11 out of 15. On the race sim, you can see sitting right off the pace. It looks like for randomize. I mean, she's got a 90.
Randomize is getting the lead, but Chris, I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I didn't see this, but I'm not sure what the answer to that is actually. But here, look at the race simulator has the 4 horse winning this race, but randomized is no joke, Justin. I mean, this horse has been in the money in 8 of 9 races, $1.3 million. And when she gets the lead, she is just freaking tough. And I don't know, Idiomatic. I mean, this horse is obviously 11 wins, been in the money in all 15 tries for $3.5 million, lost in the Ogden Phipps, 2 randomized.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
And
she hadn't barely won in a long time.
I don't get it. I'm thrown off because Idiomatic just barely beat a grade 3 group, a 74 SOR group, barely got up there with 4 other horses. I don't know what to think.
Well, I think you're going to have to, what do they, isn't Saratoga like the graveyard of favorites? And she might land on that list, whether it's randomized or Raging Sea is the other one. And I see, randomized does love Saratoga. I see your note there.
Yeah.
5 for 9, hit the board every time except once, 8 out of 9 tries. I mean, she's, as a 4-year-old and with Idiomatic being 5, I mean, randomized is still, that last out race in the Ogden Phipps beating Idiomatic, maybe she turned the tables, right? I think the only other horse that I would, I think the picks have it here. I didn't look a lot at the 1 and 2, Scotty. Especially, I wasn't really a fan of the 1. I mean, the 2 might draw some money because I Rad and Safi. But Raging Sea for Pratt and Chad Brown, I mean, she's, won 3 of 5 at 9 furlongs, right? And so, isn't quite of the same caliber here. But as a 4-year-old, she could be on the improve. I mean, she has really smoked fields here recently. So, with randomized and Idiomatic taking all of the action, in my opinion, I think that the horse that's going to get left alone is Raging Sea, to be honest. So I thought with Pratt riding for Chad, really would have to improve. But again, on the 3 Raging Sea has shown the ability, in 74s and 76s and has been able to stock right off the pace, Scotty. So depending on what randomized and Idiomatic do from the previous race, that's where I was also looking was Raging Sea.
That's actually a good point by Shad too. Honestly, I don't like hating on jockeys. I have a few that I don't really like. And Florent Drew is probably one of them. I don't get, first of all, like how he has got the mounts that he's got in my mind are just mind-boggling, honestly. Brad Cox, he owes Brad Cox and Steve Asmussen, he owes everything. Like, wasn't he the jockey on Gunrunner? I'm pretty sure he was. But like, I don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. Like, he messes up more rides. I just think, again, I hate to be a jockey basher, but I just don't. I don't. He's 15%. It's not a terrible percentage, but I don't get it. He just finds ways to mess up horses. But you can't really mess up this 4. But I guess that was a bad ride, huh?
I don't remember. Brad thinks it's 2-horse race. I would say 3-horse, Brad. I still think that Raging Sea might have something here. At least for me. I mean, is the second pick, runs well in race sim, 14%, but and all the win percent is going to Idiomatic, obviously at 52%, Scotty. But
It is,
I
but Idiomatic. Look, Idiomatic was 76% in a Grade 3 race last time out and barely won.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
now look in the Ogden Phipps. This horse, Idiomatic, barely lost and had an unsettled break. Was a 4 to 5 path. I mean, this was not a good trip. And then when you look at let's look at the SOR. So Idiomatic has won 3 races in 1 second and 4 tries, going 9 furlongs. Randomized has won 2 and 1, and then there's a big drop in the class. Look at the SOR. The SOR, in my opinion, is our best algorithm. That's what I think, and we've got some good ones. Obviously, so I really count on the strength of race for sure. And when you look at that, I mean, it's 4 and 5, and then speed holds up at Saratoga as well. I agree with Brad. I think I saw Brad say something about this, but for me, it's 4 or 5. That's it. And we'll see. I think 4 can win.
The 4's been working great, Scotty. There's a note from Bruno on Idiomatic, and then Randomized and Raging Sea for Chad Brown have been working together. That's the most recent note. So, for me, I am tossing Randomized here. I would either put Raging Sea or Idiomatic on top. That for me. So.
Yeah, look at that. Chuck said that's a really good point too. That speed is really dangerous, and I mean, for Idiomatic to barely win that. Now look at hold on here. Yeah, this race here. That was a 74 SOR, and barely won that race over at Monmouth. There was only 4 other horses. And this horse was 76%. You're just supposed to win better than that, and. Aren't you?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. I guess I would say I'm going to. I mean, but if you toss that race but I also think if you go back to the race at Toga, right, in the Ogden Phipps, I mean, Idiomatic didn't run a terrible race there, even though it got beat by Randomized. And I think that the experience of Idiomatic, I'm not a huge, Florent Giroux fan, just like you, Scotty, but Brad Cox is a good trainer. I think that, and not that Chad Brown's not with Randomized. I think I'm the other Chad Brown here, to be honest, over I'm on Raging Sea over Randomized. So,
well, Bruno gave Idiomatic a 4-star. Did you see that?
Yes, that's what I was in. Yeah, so Idiomatic, there's great work there, and then that's what I was saying. Raging Sea and Randomized both have been working together, just as recently. So, but that's a big work there, right, for Idiomatic. So,
John, look at John's point. John's point is that Monmouth is a speed favoring track, and Idiomatic actually had the lead and actually lost the lead and had to hang on.
Last out, yes. Yeah. No, I don't know. Somebody up above had said
it was a good battle, Brad.
It was a weird race, but
yeah, I don't know. Listen, there's no way any of us could sit there and criticize Idiomatic, not even trying to do that at all. I
think Raging Sea trips out. That's what Chuck was. I think Raging Sea's the horse that could trip out, man.
Yeah, but it got it at Saratoga, though. Look at this horse was sitting right off the pace against an easier group. Look what happened in the Ogden Phipps against Randomized and Idiomatic. This horse had a perfect post, sat tactical, and these horses don't stop. So I think Raging Sea's looking at 3rd or 4th. That's what I think.
All right. Where are we going? Woodbine?
Yeah, we're going to Woodbine. We've got 5 stakes races there tomorrow. Great racing all weekend long. Um, I'm just a fan. Like, I'm pumped to watch these races. All right, let's go to Woodbine. And we got the first stakes race is race number 5. It's a non-graded stakes race for 2-year-olds. I love these races. This race is so freaking tough, though. It really is. I've got some notes on the 1, 4, and 5. I think I might, and the 9 horse. So look, I think Menza. This horse is dropping in GSR, but look at it's still the second top GSR to the 4 horse. Might not run the same on turf, and we'll take a closer look at the 5 horse. But look at the EquinEdge long shots, 35%, a horse to watch. But look, these horses that are the top win and EE long shot only win 19% of the time. What do you like to see, Justin? Are you trusting the 35%, or are you trusting what these horses do when they meet this criteria? What are you trusting?
Hey, that's why you got
to be a long night. Willie's got a really good point right there. I broke out the whiskey and I'm halfway through it, so it could be we could go through. It could be we could be here all night long.
I know it's to your question. That's why you gotta handicap it. I mean, I think I agreed. We looked at that first Saratoga race, and you kind of can jump around to horses. I thought that. The 2 horse is a maiden, but his shipping from Saratoga, found that a little bit interesting. But between the 4, 5, 7 and the picks, Scotty, I mean, I thought that the 5 Menza for Resolute Racing, good luck, John Stewart. I thought it did have a legit shot, but I did not. Yeah, I did not see.
This horse is going to get the lead. This horse is going to get the lead. Look, easily.
I agree. Moves and moves, right? You get the drop off the move to turf. You get a drop in the GSR. So I do think, yeah. But it is the top number on turf there. You can see at 6.5. Was 6.5. So take that for what it's worth. I do think it is a player, even though on the GSR drop. I thought that the 4 horse. Scotty, with the extra half furlong, it's the second pick. I thought we were talking about a horse potentially tripping out in the Saratoga race. I think that Cool Collected has a great opportunity here. It's not great, between Munger and Dixon, but yeah. I do love the GSR, Scotty, and I think this horse flies under the radar, and people could potentially be like, "Oh my gosh, where'd this horse come from?" And you're going to get 8-1, 10-1. I think this is out of all the races here, this was one of the long shot. I say long shot, not Scotty long shot, but from a price that I thought really could surprise. I do think it's tough to come back off the maiden win, though. That is never easy.
But how dope is the GSR? Look, if you caught this horse, you got 21-1. This horse went from a 53 GSR on the synthetic to a 75 up to, we've been doing this from the beginning, Justin, and I look for, in fact, I get an email that tells me about horses like this. Hey, watch for these GSR increases in second starts. I love these plays. And this horse added blinkers, which I don't even think mattered. It wasn't the blinkers. It was the fact that this horse needed turf all along. And then look, we can look at synthetic. It's a 58 on the tab. And then on turf, look, what is it? It's a 72. It's a 14-point increase. Look at this horse can run on any surface. It's a very well-rounded horse, but it's going to excel most likely if it's talented enough. It's going to excel on turf. So I agree. I think the 4 is a major player in here. Here's the thing about this, though. If this was 5.5, I would like the 5 that much more. But that being freaking, first of all, by the way, is Mark Casse locked and loaded? I don't know if you looked at all weekend long. Look, if you want to make money, just bet on Mark Casse. The problem is he's got 2 or 3 horses in every damn stakes race. I mean, it's that guy's stable is freaking insane.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I'm with you on Menza. I think, different distance, maybe I have a little more confidence. But I do think I think Cool Collected. Anthony loves Cool Collected. I'm with you, Anthony. I would put Cool Collected on top here, Scotty. I just think it is very hard to, again, win off a maiden. Only goes from 7 to 9%. But I think in a really wide open 2-year-old race, Not that I don't love Menza. I do think Dream On has a shot too, coming off the maiden win.
Yeah.
Dream On won main special weight last out for Cassie too. But the win percent goes up a little bit. That only was a 44. The only, Ravelli has the 9, Scotty, who also has speed. But the GSR drops. He does have Cohen riding here, but of all the maidens, I was on the 4 and 7 over this 9 horse homie. I do love the name. That is a great name by the connections.
Yeah.
But I just, GSR drops a little bit outside post. There's Menzo with the other speed. Maybe the 9 could rate.
The nine's a absolute player here for Ravelli, who, by the way, takes over for Wesley Ward. And Ravelli's 32%. Let's see here. 30% first race off the layoff and 18% first race of the horse. This 9 is absolutely live. I think that the 5 horse with that big drop, look at going from a 92 to a 72, and look at when it was a 75 here, it lost. You know what the key to this 5 is, and why I think the 5 is the horse to beat? Because when it gets the lead, it is freaking tough. And I've seen some stakes horses kind of like randomized, Justin. When they get the lead, they are freaking tough. And look here in this race here. I don't think it had anything to do with the class. It was dueling from the very beginning. So there was a really fast horse in there. And this 5 is the fastest horse in the race. So I think the 5 horse, I will say this. I wish it was 5.5 or 6. 6.5. Maybe this horse is feeling it late. I don't think this horse really wants turf, but I think this is just a wide open race. Let me give you a long shot. You ready for a long shot?
Over the 4? I think the 4 is the long shot. But
the 4 is going to be a long shot, but you're going to get 6-1. The horse is going to get bet. You know who the long shot is? This freaking 1 horse is maybe a horse to watch for. This horse wants turf. Look at the turf tab. And it's a maiden. It ran 1 time. It broke last from the rail. Okay, I'm just saying, like, there's a chance that this 1 horse could upset the apple cart. So just put me down as the 1 horse. Watch out.
All right.
Now the 7. I think we would be remiss if we didn't at least talk about the 7 a little bit. How did this horse get 35% win and 5-1? This is not one algorithm. It's the EquinEdge long shot. It's got the top win percentage, and it's 5-1 on the morning line for Cassie. Like, this horse has got to be live, right?
Yeah, I think so. Again, we talked about the 4 coming out of main special weight win. The 7 is the same thing, but the race sim loves this horse too, Scotty. So it's not only the EquinEdge morning line and the win percent. The race sim also has the horse winning as well. So, and then it's the Scotty long shot. So, I think can sit right off the pace probably if the 9 shows speed with the 5. I mean, the 7 going to sit right there, and probably try to sit the perfect trip as well. And I think the morning line is so off. That horse probably will take money and get bets since Cassie, but is it going to get bet down to 5-1? I don't think so. I would guess that you're probably going to get a little bit of a better price. So.
Look, let's just say the 5 horse with the 20-point drop in GSR is no good. The 7 horse, it's broke its maiden. Only 5% of horses come back to beat winners. Okay, so if you throw those out, look, that's what you got. Look at the 1 horse who's going to go off at like 50 or 60-1. I'm just right, but you know who's going to get the best trip in there? And won easily against 10 other horses last time out, and that's the 9. I at the end of the day, I'm going to go.
The 4. The 4 won versus 10 other horses.
The 4 is going to have to get the trip. I know.
No, I know.
4 is going to have to get the trip though, but the 9 is tactical and going to sit a beautiful trip for Ravelli. Everything is you got to beat the 5, but the 9 horse. Here's the problem for the 7 horse. I think. The 9's faster. Look at the first call. The 9 is, so that means the 7 is in between the 6, the 4, the 9. The 9's on the outside getting a really good trip. 4-1 on the EE morning line. Look, 2 horses are taking up most of the win percentage. That's the 5 and the 7. So I'm not going to worry about the win percentage at all. I'm looking at other factors now. And I think that the 9-horse might get a really good trip. That being said, I'm not really a fan of horses breaking their maiden and then winning next time against winners. But we'll see what happens. What's up, Dave? Okay. All right. So who are you settling in on anyways?
I'm playing the 4, Cool Collected. I love the 4. Out of all these Woodbine races, this would be my – well, we'll keep going. We'll look at the others. But I attached to this horse pretty early. But it is off the maiden win. Again, I think if I was talking on horizontal, I'm not sure how narrow I would go. But I agree with you on the 5, 7, 9. They all are players. The 2 is the horse shipping from Saratoga is the maidens, 14%. We didn't talk about what's it, test score? Yes. Yeah. But in a 2-year-old, I'd say baby race, right? Many of these are still very lightly raced. I think there, but to Anthony's point, I'm with you, Anthony. I think, and Scotty, we talked about it. I mean, we wish we would have caught that. I wish I would have caught that horse its last win with the 20 GSR increase on the 4, and then you're getting 20 to 1. But you might still get 6, 8 to 1.
There's going to be such great odds all weekend long. If you like a horse, you're going to get great odds. Look, the 9-horse with Ravelli, he's 30% off the layoff. Look at that. First race off the layoff. Going to get a perfect trip. And why would you send a horse that just ran at Indiana Grand? Why would you send this horse up to Canada? Why? Why would you do that? This horse won like quarter lengths, and it beat 10 other horses. You have to love this horse. You have to love it. No doubt about it. And now this horse is going to get a good trip. It's got a decent GSR. It's not great, but it's not the worst in the world. And especially in a sprint race. The race simulator's got the horse right there. Look at within a length and a quarter. Come on. That horse can make up that length and a quarter with a good trip. And that's what this horse is going to get. I'm all over the 9.
You're on the 9. I'm on the 4.
All right, Scotty, 9, Justin, 4. We're moving super slow, but I don't really give a shit, honestly, because I'm feeling really good. Okay. Race 7. Let's go. Let's bring it. What's up, Gary? I'm happy to do this show with you today. We haven't worked together in a long time, you and I.
I know. It's what I was when we talked about this. What was that? Tuesday? Yes, Tuesday. I don't even know what day it is. I was like, this is great. We haven't, Ryan said, oh my. Yeah. We haven't, it's been a while. Even you come on the stretch run occasionally, but I've missed you probably the last 1 or 2 times. But no, I'm glad we got to do this. I love handicapping with you. You know what I mean?
do too. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, hold on here. So share this tab. Oh. Well,
Lexi, welcome.
What's up, Lexi? Share screen. We'll share that.
We appreciate that, Alex.
Oh, thank you, Alex, very much. Okay, 23rd. Let's go here. Where are we going? We're going to Saratoga, race number. Let's see, race number 8.
No, I thought we were still on Woodbine.
Oh, we're in Woodbine. Hold on here.
Woodbine race 7. The grade 2 King Edwards.
Wow, I am feeling no pain right now whatsoever. Have I told you that I'm a lightweight, by the way?
That's the good old
could be here a while. All right, grade 2 King Edwards Stakes, $200,000 purse. And let's see if I got this back here. I don't have the best internet here, and I have my notes here. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get that to pop up. All right, let's run the race. Oh, it showed up here anyways. Good. Okay, let's run this. I've got some good notes here, actually.
He gets the lead. That's going to be the morning line favorite, right? But I'm not a fan of the favorite here on the stretch out.
Well, it's a big GSR drop for sure.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I like a horse in here.
The 8 won the King Edward back in 2022. That's not where I would land, but obviously might be a little bit of a player. I think it's a beatable favorite if you want to put the 8 in that category.
Am I not slurring? I'm not slurring just yet, right? Listen, this is the EquinEdge community, so I don't think anybody's going to hate on me. I hope not, but that's okay. It's been kind of a rough day, to be honest with you. So
I'm with you.
I wasn't even planning on actually drinking.
Scotty, you're doing good. There's no slurring.
Okay.
You're doing good.
Good.
We will allow you another half glass.
Okay. I still have a little bit left. All right. Well, we can't drink on a show like this late at night. Who else does shows this late at night anyways, by the way?
No, nobody but Chris. You were just popped in. I just looked. I put my head up, and Remington Park was running again. We had a great time last week with Remington Park.
I'm betting Remington in between your dissertation. Matt's here with us. Matt Miller. We're going to be live tomorrow night in the coaching class. Brad and Matt are going to show you everybody in that class how to make a bankroll for Saturday. So back to Woodbine Race Center.
By the way, can I, and Chris is producing, by the way, can I just be cheesy for a second? From the day one we started this, our EquinEdge community is amazing. Like Matt Miller is here, Ryan is here, Mike Saletta, like we have such great people. Do you know, and you know this, Justin, 3 years ago because we sponsor the NHC, 3 years ago, we had about 10 people using EquinEdge.
Mm-hmm.
Then the following year, it raised up to close to 150. Last year, what do you think it was? I don't know. This year, probably close to 250.
I was gonna say, close to probably 30% of the room. To be honest,
it was pretty crazy. It was neat to walk through. You walk through the event and to see the computers up and to see EquinEdge on the computers was pretty amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. And this year somebody gonna win using EquinEdge. That's what's gonna happen, Scott.
Yeah. No, I have no. Well, first of all, look at David Harrison, who tomorrow morning we're doing a show at 12 o'clock Eastern time. If you can watch at the Road to the NHC, where we show you actually how to hopefully qualify for the NHC. We've already had like 4 or 5 people qualify for the NHC, so it's been amazing. So hopefully you can join us for that. But David Harrison, who won in the 2022. An amazing champion, by the way, and big shout out to David Harrison. We love you, David. One of the best guys.
I agree.
Yeah, one of the best.
I'm gonna tune in tomorrow. I have to work, but I'll have it in on the side. I haven't played a ton, but this weekend I think could be interesting, Scotty. I really do. I think there's some great races. So
you've got to qualify for the NHC. You qualified last year in the last minute.
In Las Vegas.
Yeah, and Ryan's trying to qualify right now. You can see Ryan there. He's putting in his pick and praise tomorrow. And so we're covering that. So if you're interested in doing that, we're going to have a good time doing that. And then Friday, Chris does a coaching class. It's sold out for tomorrow. We allow 20 people in there, but Matt's in there. Brad's in there. Chris has done a great job on getting that class like that. And a big shout out to the guys. But the EquinEdge community is amazing. And we'll move on to race number 7. But I will tell you this, and Justin, you know this. The things right now, the team. We just hired another back-end developer. The team right now is just tremendous in the things we're building, and the entire goal is to build all the technology possible for horse racing to help you guys be successful. So, okay, race number 7. The one horse is doing very well right now, but these are tougher. Minor placing. I think the 2's minor placing. It is a horse to watch. I love the 6, War Bomber, 7-1 EE morning line. This horse has the top GSR. I love War Bomber.
Somebody else talked about War Bomber. Won the King Edward last year as well. King Edward. That was King Edward's last win. Scotty was in this race last year, so has not won in the last 5 tries. But I think for sure as a player. You talked. I'm a fan of Ironstone. I talked about Ironstone last week. I think Ironstone has a shot here. I agree on the 6. I also think the 1 does have a shot. But I can
look at the 6 horse though. The 6 horse. Look at 2 and 3 back. That horse had a 60 and a 56 GSR. Okay, racing on the
yes.
Chuck those out On the turf in a grade 2 race, this horse barely lost by a quarter, is going up in win percentage, up in GSR a little bit, getting a little extra distance, likes to win with the 7 wins. Look at, in my opinion, and Norm McKnight's a great trainer, but he's been a little bit mismanaged. The horse should never have been in synthetic races, period. Sorry, just shouldn't have been. And if he had EquinEdge and he was using the GSRs, he would know better. Bo, or this is Bruno actually. I think if it's the same owner, the one that has a lot of horses at Gulfstream Park, they have a lot of horses. But this horse is tactical. I think the 6-horse War Bomber. It has the top GSR by far. The main competitor, the 8-horse, has the second lowest GSR, but does have the speed. I'm still all over the 6. I think the 6-horse War Bomber, you're going to get 3 or 4 to 1.
Yeah, my only other comments, I mean, we talked a little bit about the one, this horse is really going to be closing, Scotty. I think it's got does the one have the double arrow closing? I can't remember if it was like the double or single arrow, but
let's see. It has the single arrow. It's closing. Yeah. It's 2 to 1 EE morning line. It's the EquinEdge second pick. It's won 2 races in a row. The win percentage goes up. GSR's kind of on the average side. But it did win in that grade 2 race. This is an easier group, I think. It says it's a little bit tougher, but the 8-horse is going to be the horse. Listen, I think the 8-horse is going down in win percentage. The GSR drops 10 points. This is a great opportunity to try to beat. And because
I wouldn't even use the 8, Scotty.
Well,
I would not use
I don't know that I agree with that. Only just this horse has won half its races. I mean, this horse likes to win. And whenever it's near the lead, it does very good. You know what's crazy? The sire, I have not seen a horse earn this kind of money that had such low GSRs. I mean, this horse is winning races with a 55 GSR grade 2s as a 3 and up, but I don't see that very often.
I bet it's just the Brazil because it's Brazilian bred. So it's just, although we do see occasionally some of these horses rated at Gulfstream do have higher GSRs, but maybe it's, just the data on the Brazilian side.
Yeah. By the way, there's a tournament on Saturday, right? 2 days from
there
now.
Is. Yes.
Right?
There's a good one. It's actually a really good tournament. It's $800.
Okay. I'm going to play in that thing. Although my cash tournaments, I don't know what's going on with me. I can't seem to do well. And the last 3 weeks, I'm going to turn things around, but I can't throw a rock into an ocean right now.
You're still in like 4th place on the NHC leaderboard, I saw.
Yeah, I'm not that far out, but I'm going to have to get some momentum back. I got to get my mojo back.
I'm with you on War Bomber, but I would be looking at the other horse would be Ironstone for me, Scotty.
Which one?
Ironstone, the 2, and I don't know. Ironstone may not land here. I don't know if we've heard where Ironstone is going to land, but I'm with you on the 6 though to beat the 8. I think it's the 2 or the 6. I think the 1 has a tiny bit of a look, but the 2 I think only does have 1 win, and it was a while ago, but has been racing, gets back to 8 furlongs, ran really well 2 back in an 8-horse field, but it was only a 66, so we'll really have to improve.
But look, the system likes this horse, Justin. 21%, 19%, 28, 24, and the horse keeps losing, getting minor awards. That's why I'm minor placing. This horse is a minor place. It is. I mean, this race is going to be won by the 1, 8, or 6. That's it. Nobody else.
We'll see. Tomorrow at 4:20 Eastern, 1:20 Pacific.
All right, let's go to race number 8. All right. Let's run the race.
I feel like these races, I'm so confused, Scotty, because I'm like, I just handicapped these races last weekend, and they're like coming back, and I'm like, are these the same races, the same field? Because these were scratched from Saturday, right?
Yeah. By the way, Justin, do you realize how many amazing handicappers are on this show right now? Matt Miller, Mike Sletto's amazing, right?
Dave Duncan. Dave Duncan
is a fantastic. Brad Anderson, are you kidding me?
Yes. Brad taught me a lot when I was at Keeneland last. It must have been the spring, yes, because we'll be there in the fall. But getting back though, if talking about Brad, but Dave, I've never seen somebody hit so many pick fives, Scotty, and we just had this conversation on Tuesday. You know, in amazing, Dave. I mean, for real, the deal.
Dave is the man. You know what? Listen, you know what? Chris was telling me a couple of days ago that the $2 pick six is back over at Santa Anita in November.
Yes, I can't wait.
I mean,
not November, not November.
When?
Day after Christmas, the winter meet.
That sucks, but that's okay. That's okay.
And again, I want like micro shares or whatever the hell you're going to do. Just let me know. I'll Venmo it over.
I'm going to be all over it. Let me tell you something. Back in the day in California, when I lived in California, and I've been here for about 4 years now in Florida, that's all I did was play $2 pick sixes. Like, it was the best place to be if you're a horse player. And I mean, I would handicap 12 hours and at $2 pick six denomination, and I cannot wait. So it that's going to be old school pick six. That is me. Let me tell you something. I barely handicap anymore. I'll just play. I like action. Everybody knows that. But in the $2 pick six, I'll spend hours handicapping that because I like playing for the big money. So you might see the best out of me coming up. We'll see.
I want to see it because I wasn't around horse racing when that even existed. You know, we were talking about this because Chris was explaining it to us. Chris, if you want to come back in, and I was like, well, what about the pick five? And Chris is like, yeah, there was no pick five, right, Chris?
No,
wasn't that? Yeah,
there was no pick five. I mean, there was the pick six, and then they brought the pick four in, which was $1 minimum back then, and the pick six was always $2. And you're going to get a lot more carryovers going into this year, especially with the Thursday and Friday racing, because you need 1 or 2 shots and you're going to get that. And Matt is right. There's a full chapter in his book on the $2 pick six, which was the first major bet that he played. And he talks about that in the book. And when they had a party and it was over and he told the wife he was going to play, and she was like, well, great. You know, did you hit it? And he was like, yeah. And she's like, well, what was it? And he was like, 57. And she was like, oh, thinking 5,700. That's great. Let's take a little mini vacation. And that whole chapter is great in how he explains it and whatnot. But he will also tell you that he learned a lot back then in terms of how to structure those things. And structure is important. Multiple tickets are important. And there is a great betting weekend ahead, but we will look forward to that in the winter meet at Santa Anita. All right, you guys need to get to race 8, man. You've been on.
We're
going to get there, but real quickly, I'm going to tell a story. So I had a big pick six at Del Mar in 2011, and I handicapped. I only had the racing form at the time, and I handicapped every race, and I felt like I saw every single race. The interesting part about this story is I had a horse called Three Cuties that didn't have a lot of heart. She was a maiden. And this is how it went down. Paul Aguirre was my trainer. I owned the horse with somebody else. And so normally the trainer is the one that tells the jockey what he wants him to do. So Paul starts walking towards Tyler Base. Now Three Cuties was in the first leg of the pick six. So I walk up. Paul starts walking towards Tyler as Tyler was walking up. And I put my arm on I wasn't drunk either, by the way. And I put my arm on Paul's chest, and I'm like, I got this, Paul. I'm like, Tyler, you're going to take this horse to the lead, aren't you? And he goes, yes. And I'm like, no, you're not. He goes, no, I'm not. And I go, no, you're not. I'm like, this 8 horse is much faster than you. I said, what I want you to do, because you're one of the best gate jockeys there is, I want you to break this horse on top. I want you to grab her, and I want you to make one run. I singled that horse in the pick six. Walked up and Ronnie Mack, Scotty McClellan is his brother. I went into Ronnie and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm putting in a pick six. My ex-wife's there and I'm like, okay, what do? I can't play a big ticket in front of her. So how do I do this? So I'm like, okay, well, the ticket's already like $2,500. And I'm like, Paul Aguirre, my trainer, he had a first-time starter in the last leg. And I'm trying to decide whether I use it or not. And I go to lunch with him that day. I'm on my way to Del Mar. I said, what about your first-time starter, Paul? He says, no chance. And his wife, Lisa, says to me, Scotty, this horse is going to win. And I'm like, and then we're at lunch. And Paul's like, who's the trainer? I'm the trainer. I'm telling the horse has no shot. And I'm like, I'm seeing it. And I noticed that Lisa, his ex-wife, had a really amazing intuition. So I'm like, what do I do? And I'm sitting there and people are screaming, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. And for an extra $500, I added the 3 horse who was 20-1 in the morning line. Anyways, $1.2 million later, I hit the pick 6.
Dude, and that horse won, right?
Horse won. By the way, my horse won the first leg because Tyler Bays gave that horse an absolute perfect ride. And then Paul Aguirre's first-time starter won the last race. Anyways, it was just a mob. It was just an incredible experience. Anyways, the point of me bringing up that story is I'm so excited about the $2 pick 6 coming back. So big shout out to the Stronach Group.
All right, Woodbine race 8.
Woodbine race number 8. Let's go. All right. What are your thoughts on this race, Tyler?
All right. I got to jump in here because I'm just going to tell you that Ollie's going to tell you if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. This is all about Patches O'Houlihan.
Right.
Yeah, I heard this. Chris, I see Ironstone here again, so I don't know where Ironstone's going to show up, but Ironstone might show up here. So I think, flipping over to 6.5 on the synthetic, Scotty, this probably fit Ironstone better, to be honest. It might. So I think from that perspective, I like Ironstone maybe to land here and not in, I think that was the King Edward. So I think Ironstone also has a shot. Patches O'Houlihan for sure. I don't disagree, Chris, from Ollie's perspective, and I know he's not here. I think for sure a player, I do think it's going to have some pressure from the outside, and there's going to be some other speed here. So I am kind of curious what happens with Bordertown, Patches, and then the 7 First Empire, the Scotty Longshot, actually. So I thought, the morning line in Scotty pick is the 6, though, right? And I know there you were showing the, I don't know if it's applied Maya tune, but 3-2 on the EquinEdge morning line, but back-to-back wins for Josie Carroll, right? So she's, second lifetime start, ends up winning there at a big price. I think this horse is for sure pointed. It drops into grade 3, so I like that. It's like you're not dropping into grade 2 or grade 1, grade 2, but won a 64 last out and just romped by 5.5. So Chris, from Patches, yes, but I was looking at the 6 or the 2 here, Scotty. I do think Patches. I think it's the 2-3-6 for me is how I landed, but I was trying to get around Patches, but for sure would use if I was playing like a whatever horizontal is to be played here. Pick 5 probably.
Well, think about it for a second though. How many times would you go? A horse just broke its maiden, then just won in a non-winners of 2 lifetime, and now it's going to be the favorite in the grade 3 race. Come on, like it's 9% to win. It's not broke a sweat yet, no doubt about it. But this is like if you're Josie Carroll, why are you even putting this horse in a non-winners of 2 if it's that good? I don't know. They won by 11 first out, so she had to have known it was a big favorite. So. But why are you putting this horse if this horse is a stakes horse, you're not even wasting your time in a non-winners of 2 lifetime. I'm trying to beat this 6. It hasn't broke a sweat, no doubt about it. And look, and then the finish, it's right there along with a lot of other horses as well. Patches, this horse can rate some too. Patches is gone. 8 wins in 10 races, second off the layoff for Tiller. This is your winner right here, the 3. Patches O'Houlihan.
All right, I'm taking the 2. Ironstone.
Yeah. Justin mentioned the pit 5 here at Woodbine. It's a 20-cent base.
Yeah.
You never play it for 20 cents. Play that thing for 40, 60, 80, or play it for $1. put your opinions in there, put together a ticket that makes sense, and hit it multiple times, right? Just because it's 20 cents doesn't mean you're going to play it at the same denomination you play something at 50 cents for, because you're diluting your payoffs.
Yeah.
So play those things, crush your bets, and play it for more, because if you play it for $1, you're going to get 5 times the will pays on those 20 cents ones. So that's just
theoretically you are, yeah.
That's just my 2 cents on the 20-cent pick fives. But I'm all in here with Patrick Julian. I'm probably not playing a pick five. I'm going to leverage doubles and triples there at a higher value than the minimum. But
I love Woodbine. I will tell you one thing though, when you go to like the second call, like you better be within 4 lengths, maybe even less, in the simulator in order to win at Woodbine. Horses on the synthetic do not win coming from more than 4 lengths back at the top of the stretch. It doesn't happen. So you want to beat like horses like the 5 horse. I think the 5 horse is going to finish. I think the 2 horse. That's the reason why I don't love Ironstone, Justin, because even though it's 24%, and then when I look at vulnerable favorites, I look at the 6 horse. It won a non-winners of 2 lifetime. It won impressively. Big deal. It's going from 25% to 9%, from 64 SOR to 72. Give me Patches all day long. I don't know why it's 7-2 on the EE morning line. It'd be a gift if you got 7-2 on this 3 horse.
We'll see. The one capture the line, we didn't talk about Scotty, but it's 10%. And one did win a 66-2 back, ran okay last out. I mean, in a grade 2 going 7. Moves over to synthetic though, and when you look back at those sprints at 5.5, I mean, did run well early in his career. So is the morning line likes at 6-1, maybe can't win, but for sure I would be using the 1 and a vertical, Scotty, and trying to key somewhere maybe and play it cheap, right? If you love Patches, great, but I think you can. I do think the 1, it's your point of we were talking earlier. I mean, this horse is coming out of a restricted for Cassie, but it is Cassie, and so I just thought that of all of these, the 1 horse might be the one that does get overlooked, and that's how I like to use the morning line, to be honest, because I think the morning line is catching it here for Cassie. And yes, it's a smaller field. It's only 7 horses here, so and the 1 has. It will have, I think, some pace to run into. So I think it for sure has the potential to hit in the trifecta. I don't know about the exacta, but
I agree with you, by the way. I think the 1 horse is going to run a good race.
But I think hard to win. I mean, it's 10%, but if you are trying to spread here,
three's going to win the race.
Yeah.
3's going to win the race. Like, look, the only race the horse lost and it went on the shelf after that was a grade 2 race. It was 26% to do that. And look, it wasn't even close to the lead. Like, and something happened. No, I mean, this horse, and shout out to Tiller too, to being loyal to Vives, last time out and rewriting. So I appreciate that. But I think the 3 horse is going to win. Yeah. Does the 6 horse, is it impressive on paper? Yes. You look at the GSRs, they're average at best. I don't know. I can't take there's no way I can take a non-winners of 2 lifetime horse to beat a horse that just beat a 70 group by 6 lengths. I'm sorry. Not in a million years. I don't care if the 6 wins by 10 lengths. I'll never, ever do that. No way. 3 horse Patches for the win. All right. Race number 9.
9?
Yeah, race number 9. Let's see here. Let's run this.
Well, this was, you cut a bunch too.
Let's see here. Race number 9. There we go. All right. So let's run the race. What's up, Catherine? How are you? I eliminated the 1, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I love the 3 horse here, Justin. I'm not going to lie. Essex Serpent. I mean, this horse is going to love 10 furlongs. The longer, the better for this horse. One last time out for Cassie, Patrick Husbands. I mean, going from 24% to 50%. Look at the only poor race was here. Awkward break. This is a really nice horse. And the longer, the better for this 3-year-old gelding, Ontario bred. Love this horse.
Yeah, I'm actually with you here, Scotty. So, I mean, we'll get to move along. Chris will probably appreciate that. So, I'm with you. I think that you can play my boy Prince might go off as the favorite. So, I think when I use the system, sometimes you see races like this when you have 2 horses taking a lot of the win percent like that, and then you see the morning lines and they're kind of the 3 says it's going to float up potentially to 4 to 1. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm with you, Chris. I agree. And I think you can get around maybe my boy Prince by using the 3. The only other horse I thought was the EquinEdge long shot, not as a winner. I agree with you that the 3 would be a key here for me on a sequence, but maybe the 4 horse can run a race in a short field or in a large field here at a potential price. I mean, 4 to 1 on the EquinEdge morning line is dropping in the GSR, but I thought I had the potential to run 1 of 58, and ran well, and then ran well last out in a 64 for Kevin Attard. Stretches out, so the GSR is not awful, but I think is okay at 10 furlongs. So that would be underneath for me, would be the 4. But I'm all about Essex Serpent, the 3 on top with you.
Well, look, here's the story with the 7. You have a really, really nice horse that look at when 7 furlongs, look at the GSR, 82, 82, 50%, 34%, and won easily. Then this horse went 9 furlongs and barely won that race. You see that? Barely won that race. Okay, now is supposed to get 10 furlongs. Like, of course, I understand why Cassie would put this horse in this race. There's no way he's not worried about 10 furlongs here for this horse. And this horse is all day long saying, give me 12 furlongs. It only has 3 races, but this is the other Mark Cassie. Mark Cassie, holy crap. I mean, what a big player this 3 horse is, but Mark Cassie just holding all the cards.
Yes. Yeah, he has the 7 too. But I'm with you. These are the system plays I like. Matt Miller. And Matt, good to hear you. I don't see you, but good to see you here in the chat. I remember talking a lot about the system and plays like this because, again, the morning line showing it might float up. We know the 7's going to go off as a favorite. Like, when I see these in using EquinEdge, Scotty, they immediately are horses I want to keep. When they jump off the page on the algorithm, how the pace might break down, the other horse might, I can get around. If I can get around the 7, I just fall in love with the 3, right? Yeah. So, and again, I think maybe it's an exactor, maybe it's a 3-7-4 cold try, or maybe it's a 3 over the 4 cold, so I think there's plenty of ways to look at how to bet it, but I'm hopeful that the 3 we get a good price of at least 2 to 1, if not higher.
Catherine, I'm in Florida, so but look, if you look at the 4th call here, the 3's in the lead, and with the race simulator, the further the call, the least accurate it is. I think Essex Serpent I think it's a really nice horse, has a lot of potential. Look. The only bad race this horse had was an awkward break. Throw it out, 7 furlongs. The longer, the better. This horse is going to be really super tough. This will be my single for sure. All right, race number 10 is, let's see what we got here. We got the Catch a Glimpse Stakes. It's a non-graded stakes race for $150,000. Let's run this bad boy. Mike likes the 7 as well.
Not Torpedo and a Buffalo, Mike.
Look, Cassie is locked and loaded this weekend. Justin, like I was looking at some of the races. My God, he is just so loaded. But look, Bullet's going to be your favorite. I have no doubt about that. But you better not ignore Will Rain, the 2-horse, the other Cassie, who broke 9th of 10 horses last time out. And this horse is a really nice horse. I have no doubt about that. War of Will, who, look at this horse, earned $1.9 million in all mostly on the dirt. Actually earned $342,000 on the turf. So Will Rain, though, could be really tough with Kimura and Cassie. He likes Kimura. And but Bullet's going to be your favorite. I have no doubt about that. Won its first 2 races easily. And it did the first race on the turf, 78. Look, it has a 79 GSR. But I think Will Rain is, I think Cassie holds all the cards here in this non-graded stakes race.
I do see Will Rain as a maiden. I had some notes. I mean, the GSR is good, stretches out a little bit. So I think from 5.5 to 6.5, you know, and ran well last out. Catherine talked about the 12, and I thought Warming, the second pick, Scotty, had a look. You know, Graham Motion won first time out. We've talked about that a little bit, but another 2-year-old here, I mean, will be in an outside post. I'm assuming that's probably not too big of an issue here, sprinting 6.5, but I don't know. I don't play enough Woodbine turf. I should have played a lot more recently, but Graham Motion, you know, ships in here from Aqueduct, Scotty. Probably could have went to New York or decided what he wanted to do at Saratoga, but the connections, Eclipse Thoroughbreds, you know, they decide to show up at Woodbine here with the 12. Yeah. And so I thought in the outside post, sprinting there on the turf really had the potential, because there is, you know, shotgun wedding the Scotty long shot too, Scotty. So, you know, when the win percent is a big drop from 17%, but will have speed up there. So I thought Warming could sit a good trip from an outside post. And Bullet, I think, is a legit shot. I didn't really, that's all I really had. I think the 13, you know, if the 13 doesn't draw in, it could, the 1 could be a little bit more dangerous on the lead if the 13 doesn't draw in. I expect the 13
it's a
probably.
Speed horse, its win percentage drops, its GSR drops, it's facing similar competition. Chuck them out.
I don't think it. No, I don't think it has a shot. My point, though, is from a pace perspective, Scotty, with the 1, if the 13 doesn't draw in, so put the 1 up, because the 1 has the 1 you cut. So
right,
if the 13 doesn't draw in, the 8 doesn't want turf. So Catherine, I know you mentioned the 8. Catherine, I love hearing that about Graham Motion at Woodbine. If you know that, I love Warming here. That I know you like the 2, Scotty, but I'm on Warming the 12. But my point on the long shotgun wedding, if the 13 doesn't draw in, you know, the 8 don't want turf. So I have no idea.
The 1's not even getting the lead. The 1 is not even getting the lead. Look at. I know it's the top pace, but the race simulator is more accurate. So
that's good to know. So,
yeah,
but
the 1's not even getting the lead.
I think this sets up for the 12. I think you think the 2, I think the 12, and the 7 I think has a big shot. So
yeah, the reason, look, do you know only 5% of horses that break their maiden come back to beat winners, and this 7 horse came back to beat the winners. A non-graded stakes race went from a 58 SOR to a 72 and won for fun. Like, and now the GSR goes from 71 to 79, the win percentage about the same, and facing similar. I mean, this 7 is the real deal, no doubt about it. I think the 2 horse is going to get up and run a good race as well, Will Rain. I think Cassie holds all the cards in this race. I think it's clearly going to be a 7-2. Although I think the 12 horse is decent, but when you consider that only 5% of horses break their maiden and come back to beat winners, and then from that 12 hole, and then the horse really is, you know, not all that fast, I think the 12 guy, it has its worth cut out for him. I think, look where the 2 is going to be. The 2 is not going to be really all that far back. It actually has some speed, considering, this is what's interesting, considering it broke 9th, and the system is saying this horse will be within 2 lengths of the first call. That's pretty amazing, right? So,
hey, Scotty, before we go to Saturday, go back to race 9 at Woodbine. You guys were on a horse there that I wanted to point something out to you. The 3 Essex Spirit. So take a look at that.
Okay.
That horse is going to get the lead and going to break 5th or 8th in this field. You kidding me?
The horse doesn't need to break first. It broke 5th last time out. It's not a fast breaker, but it's not a slow breaker. It had an awkward break here in the second start. And but the 3, it's going to love the distance, and it's going to be sitting. It'll be sitting in 2nd, 3rd, 4th. It could be sitting wherever it wants to sit. It doesn't matter.
All right, I'll have a side bet with you on this one tomorrow.
Okay, who's going to beat the 3?
The 7, my boy.
Well, I mean, come on, you're taking a leap of. Yeah, that's a big stretch. Of course.
No. Hey, man, if it's obvious, right? I mean, you're going to go with that experience. I mean, the 7's going to outbreak them all. It's the Cassie horse. It was going to be the favorite, and when they had it last week, they canceled. It's going to be the favorite here.
Look, the 7 horse last time in race number 9 barely won by a length and a quarter against 6 other horses against a similar group at 59% to win and an 84 GSR. Now the horse is 69 GSR, drops from 59% down to 18%.
Oh, and Brad giving me crap about being a chalk eating weasel.
Yeah,
that's Brad's motif.
No, I'm just saying. Look.
I get 8-1.
The 3 is 50% to win on our system. I mean, the win percentage algorithm only wins 36% of the time. I mean, and then this horse, I look at the 7.
I'm with Scotty, Chris. Here, I love the 3. Like,
I think the 3 is the player. I'm singling this 3 horse. Absolutely, hands down, trying to beat the 7. No doubt about it.
We're gonna have a wager in our small chat. You guys could be doing the next weekend preview show topless.
And look, can I say another thing? Look, there's a few things. Not only is the 3 horse 50%, it's also got the top pace number, but yet doesn't need the lead. I mean,
look, Dave. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. That 3 horse is not going to be lone speed, so we'll see. This is going to.
I don't think it has to be though.
I don't think the 3 is going to have the lead.
Yeah,
I don't think the 3 is going to have the lead.
The 3 has to have the lead. It's the only way it can win.
What are you talking about? The 3 was
one
length back here.
It's going to go.
Okay, well, listen. I'll tell you what. I'll give you 3-1 odds, whatever you want to play, that the 3 beats the 7. Doesn't matter.
We're gonna bet sandwiches or pieces, something like that.
Okay.
All
right.
Or
listen, if I have a little bit more to drink, it'll be 5-1.
Exactly. All right. Let's get out to Woodbine. Not Woodbine. Race 7 on Friday. We're gonna go to Del Mar.
Wait. We haven't finished race number 10 yet.
What? You guys finished race 10?
Slow your horses down a second. Justin, who do you like in race number 10?
I'm on the 12 warming.
Okay, so Justin's on the 12. I'm absolutely the 7 is a single, absolute single. And this horse is a nice horse, and it doesn't matter. Synthetic. Look, it probably didn't even want synthetic. First of all, the GSR drops, and the horse goes up from a 58 to a 72 SOR and wins by 4 1/4 lengths against 8 other horses. This is a very special horse. That's what I believe. So I'm all over the 7. This is a single. No need to even think about it. The horse is tactical. Can do whatever it wants. Going to sit a good trip and going to romp. That's what I think.
So if this horse wins, right, where we'll probably see it next, Scotty, is down. Cassie probably going to ship down to maybe Gulfstream Park.
Yeah, this horse can go anywhere. Like, I don't see this horse staying over at Woodbine because I think that what this horse really wants, if we go to it, let's see, the GSR Plus grid. I mean, the horse wants to, well, it might. Look, it's got a decent synthetic number. It's got numbers in the 70s, but it probably, you know what? It probably will stay. It could be on the turf or synthetic over at Gulfstream. This horse is going to.
Well, because it broke its main at Gulfstream on the turf course there. That was stakes race.
They love this horse. I promise you.
That was the Royal Palm Juvenile.
I would bet you this horse is probably one of their best horses in their barn. This is a nice horse.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So we're on. So we're done with Friday. So now we go to Saturday.
Yep.
All right, so we'll go to Saturday. We're going to go to Del Mar, race number 9.
Del Mar, race number 9. And
Wait, is there a hold on here? Where am I going here?
happy
24.
you took the chalk in the last
Del
one.
Mar, race number 9. Is there any way to mute him at all, Justin?
You can't mute me. I'm out of control here. So
Damn it.
just do a 7-9 double for more than 20 cents. On that
Okay.
race, and you'll be covered.
Okay.
What happened to the 7 on the race sim there? Is the 7? Did you see
Wait.
that? It just the Senior Buscador didn't want to leave the gate.
Well, it's got a 1 on the pace number, which
I
by
see
the way,
that. I love Senior Buscador though, but
no,
that was
come
funny.
on. There's no
No,
way.
not here. Hey, no, not saying in
Okay.
this race. I'm just I
Okay.
love Senior Buscador. Good night, Catherine.
Bye, Catherine.
Scotty, you're 100% right. Senior Buscador, this is a prep. The Chosen Brawn wins this race. This is the plan for Eric Krujak.
Wait. Why do you say it's a prep? That's where we disagree. It's not
Because he's only
you don't
going
put a
7
horse in a
furlongs.
grade 2 race and have it be a prep.
How long has he been off, Scotty? When did he last race?
Well, I understand. And these horses, when they go overseas, they don't always come back and run good. But you're not putting a horse in a grade 2 for a prep. That's
Yes,
all I'm
they
saying.
are. They have literally said that.
They said that.
Well, you go read between the lines of all the different quotes on Twitter. You know, the various.
What do you mean?
different-
What quotes? Give me some hard facts that the trainer Todd Fincher said that this horse, this is a prep. There's no
Hey.
way.
The only comment I would have to all of it. So I love Senior Buscador. Most people here know that. And always have been a fan. I do not think Senior Buscador is much of a player here because to Chris's point. But Sky, why is Senior Buscador running 7 furlongs? I don't understand why.
Because it's a prep.
Okay. So that is I don't know. I'm like, what? Why is Senior Buscador racing here?
Scotty, scroll down. How many 7 furlongs races has Senior Buscador won?
One. Well, it has only raced 7 furlong one time. At Del Mar. Did run in the 72 to Pat O'Brien and ran 3rd, but so great. And then after that, did go win at Churchill. If they're running a similar path here, Chris. So what we do need to watch is Senior Buscador to run next out.
So next out is the Breeders' Cup. So take that 7-9 double I gave you at Woodbine.
Next out is not
and then roll that all into the Chosen Brawn.
No,
the
next out, it might be
no race again.
It might be the San Diego.
But
there's no way. This is why are you putting a horse in a grade 2 for a prep? You don't need to do that. It doesn't make any sense to me. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter. You have to. The Chosen Brawn's 3 to 5. I don't know how you're going to beat the Chosen Brawn. This horse has rattled off 6 straight races. You're not beating the Chosen Brawn. In fact, its GSR is higher, 7 furlongs. The horse has earned in $240,000 in 6 tries, and at Del Mar in 6 tries, $630,000. I mean, it's 19 wins in 24 races and been in the money in 22 of 24. I mean, this horse is sick. I love this.
Look,
horse.
Scotty. I mean, other than the Breeders' Cup, Breeders' Cup Sprint, I mean, how many has he won in a row outside of that? He's 17 or 18 with 1 loss, going back to 23 at Del Mar. He loves Del Mar.
No, loves Del Mar. The Breeders' Cup Sprint is the last time this horse is lost. And if I remember correctly, the horse had some trouble in that race.
Well, he had some trouble in that race, and Eric Krujak lamented the fact that he didn't run him in the Crosby that year to give him the good prep.
A good prep. No, that's a good point. There's no way you're going to tell me that you're going to work a horse into the Breeders' Cup. There's no. Come on. You raced in the Thor's Echo for $100,000 purse, and you won that easy, and that was back in May. And you're running all of a sudden in the Breeders'. There's no way.
Well, Bob Baffert would tell you to drop my beer because I've done that several times in the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
What I agree everything about Chosen Brawn. Looks to be the lock of I guess the late sequence. I would be curious. Scotty, on Raging Torrent, though, the 4-horse, the Scotty Longshot. So, a massive GSR, Fraser rides, really, doesn't show, 3 wins and 9 tries, but has improved recently for Doug in all this speed. I mean, really fast. So it is in Chosen Braun recently has shown speed, right? Shown been up or near the lead. I mean, wasn't as much last out in the Bing Crosby, but I that was the only other place I looked here. I did not look at was not a fan of Big City Lights to 5, and didn't really look elsewhere. Maybe Happy Jack loves 7 furlongs to hit your trifecta would be potential maybe on the 3-horse, but up front I see Chosen Braun finishing first or second, but Raging Torrent was the only horse I looked at maybe, but I'm with you.
Did you say first or second?
Hey, I'm telling you, this Chosen Braun gonna lose at some point. Whether
the 4 horses got it faced a 70 group last time out, and I mean, listen, when this horse clears, this horse is really tough. Something's going on with this horse and Doug O'Neill. I'll give you that, no doubt about it. No. You're right.
I mean, it's completely a different horse.
It is.
GSR, Scotty, is 83, and that's my point. Look at the GSR compared to those races on the turf, and then the 8 furlong rate. Remington
look what it did. No, look what it did though. Look, when Doug finally, look, he put the horse going 7 furlongs. Look at the GSR, and then is it ironic that the horse ran good? Look, when the horse was on the turf. 67 GSR, 69 going 8 furlongs. Like, this is why these trainers need the freaking GSR. 7 furlongs is the number 1 distance for this horse. I'm just saying it's true.
No, I agree.
Right? I mean, and look, I mean, and you might be okay. I will say this: you might be onto something with this horse. This horse could get away. It's obviously doing very well right now. It's got a lot of confidence. I would have told you you're crazy because the SOR is really weak for this horse, except for you went gate to white, but that was only 4 other horses, to be fair, Justin. But I don't think anybody's beaten the Chosen Braun. It doesn't matter. But I think the 4 horse is a decent horse to maybe get second or third. I think that would be a fair statement.
Well, so I like to try there, 4-6 over 4-6 over 3. What is that? $2 or something? I don't know. I do think Happy Jack might hit the board in third, but I love Chosen Braun. I think the 4 horse is like when I see that GSR and that speed, I think Rob up above was speaking to when Raging Torrent maybe last out. I mean, very fast at 7 furlongs here. So
you're going to have to watch out for the 5 horse. Honestly, look at the horse has had a couple of consecutive layoff lines. Whatever the issues are, there are some issues. Been in the money in all 10 races, despite those layoff lines, and faced an 80 group in the Triple Bend last time out. An 80 at 42%.
I know.
And the horse still has a 17%, even though Chosen Braun is in the race. So the 5 horse.
I hate the layoff lines. Is my own. I just don't love it here. I've Chosen Braun too good, and Raging Torrent might just upset the apple cart. I don't. If Chosen Braun doesn't win, if Chosen Braun going to get second unless something crazy happens, right? I don't see Big City Lights winning the race. So I don't know.
If you look at the races that Big City Lights has lost, I mean, really look at it, right? I mean. Second against a 78 group, 76 group, 76 group, first. That was an 80 group in the Triple Bend.
Yeah.
I mean, holy hell. I mean, it's just, no. I mean, the 5 horse, first of all, like when you look at the pace number, the 4 and the 5 are right there. You look at the first call, even look at this. I mean, Chosen Braun can be wherever wants to be. I don't think the Chosen Braun's going to take the lead. I think the 4 is going to go. The 5 is going to go. The 6 is going to be right outside of them. Throw out the 1 horse who'll be there for a little bit. And then we run the simulator, and who's closing? I mean, there's a lot of pace in this race. Senor Buscado might be could get second or third for sure. But I think Big City Lights deserves a long look in here. This is just such a nice horse.
Yeah, Chosen Ron, big winner here. Just mark that one down. We'll talk about it when we do our recap show. But let's get on to Monmouth Park, race 10 on Saturday.
We're gonna go to Gulfstream Park, race 10 first, and
Okay.
this is the Bull Stakes, and we'll run this. And we've got the 2 horse is interesting because it's going up in GSR over 10 points, but let's we'll run this and see. So the 2 horse 7-1 in the EE morning line. Comedy Town's 38%. Justin, I know you're looking at this right now, but yeah, I agree, Rob. The Breeders' Cup Sprint looks weak, but is the 6 horse Comedy Town all that?
I didn't think so. I think as a player here, I actually thought this was a really competitive Gulfstream Stakes race. Betting the Bull Stakes, I loved it. Race 10 at Gulfstream Park in the sequence. It's the second to the last race. I'd be looking at a daily double here. I mean, Comedy Town, I think, is legit. Will show speed on the Gulfstream dirt. So going to be up near the lead, and the speed's always dangerous, right? So especially going 7 furlongs. So, stretches out to 7 and had race 6 last out, 1, 2 in a row. Drayden Van Dyke riding for Safi and has been hitting well. It did win a 76. And that's, I think, the thing, Scotty, with the 6, it was like, man, so if that's a 76, wow. But, in race before that one on the slop, I think, the 6 has been a completely different horse under Safi. I mean, a totally different player here. I mean, was claimed and now it's just completely different. So he has really improved. I mean, so not surprising. I thought the 4. Yeah, I mean the 2 horse. I think you mentioned, Scotty, Classic Car Wash. Maybe I thought will really have to improve and hasn't been running on the 2, but did stock. If you go back to Gulfstream in the win in the 64 for Cassie, did win as the favorite there in a 64. So has shown some ability. Does have layoff lines on the 2 Classic Car Wash. So that's a little bit concerning, but I do think fits here. I think this is fairly competitive. So at a big price, 7-1 on the EE morning line, I thought Classic Car Wash, the GSR goes up. The 4 is the long shot, is run a ton at 7 furlongs, Scotty. And I think here Edwin Gonzalez ride, does have wins. It has faced tougher, is the top SOR overall in the 4 horse, Local Barrio. The top SOR as well with Scotty Longshot always does well. Has shown ability to kind of sit off the speed here, but not be too far off. And Edwin hits at prices. That's Edwin Gonzalez. I mean, he really does. So I thought, recently, yes, been facing, tougher, but really, looking at last out, it was a small field, but ran really well. So I do think 6 is a player. The 2, the 4, I thought this was a fairly wide open race, Scotty, though, was my note.
All right. So I will tell you this.
I didn't even talk about the 8 positive review, but go.
Well, it's very difficult to win from that post when you're going one turn on the dirt. The 1 and 2 posts win so often at the time. So if you find a contender, I love the fact that this horse lost by length, just over a length. Okay, over at Gulfstream Park, likes the surface, barely lost with a 49 GSR. Now goes up to a 60. Look what this horse did last time out. If this horse can even break decent, if it breaks first again, it wins this race. And it saves ground from the inside. And look, I don't think we're going to get anywhere near 7-1, 12-1 in the odds makers morning line. I love betting Gulfstream Park because the morning line odds makers just, unfortunately not so great there. And we can expose that. I think the 2 horse is a horse that will be in the money and can win as well. So just bet accordingly. 6-5 on the 6 horse. Safi's got this horse running really good right now. Probably the horse to beat. And the horse is also tactical. Doesn't have to have the lead. It's going to get a really good trip sitting off the 1 horse. It will be near the lead, though. So the jockey, Van Dyke, might make the mistake of being a little bit too close to the 1. The 1's not a bad horse. And when doing that, that might set it up for some of these horses that are tactical, like the 4 and like the 2. right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm on the 2-4.
And Rob, I think Chris is, I can see he stepped away for a minute, but I think it's just because time of year and they don't want to mess with weather, Rob, and that's why they have the synthetic horse. I mean, Scott, you might be able to answer that, why there's no turf, but that's my assumption, Rob. Just give it a break because they're going to have the championship meet come. So,
That's
they're going to prep for
what I
all
was
of
gonna
that.
say. Like they start
Yeah.
waiting for the championship meet, trying to get the turf course back, and
Yeah.
they're not really getting a ton of people playing like they do in the championship meet starting in December. So that's why you see that. All right, let's get to Monmouth Park race number 9. Monmouth Park race number 9, and we got 2-year-old fillies here for the sorority stakes. Let's run the race. We'll throw out the 4. We're going to throw out the 6. We're going to throw out the 8. I'm not going to throw out the 9 because the 9's a second-time starter. And we'll take a closer look at it.
I left the 9 in too. That's
You did?
funny.
Yeah. I mean, you see that surge. Anytime I see a
Yeah.
surge indicator, Justin, I am watching that very closely because you and I both know we've seen enough to know that when you have a horse that's moving up 17 points in GSR, broke last, right? A lot of times, the trainer is 0 for 3 with first time starters and 0 for 2 for second time starters. But that being said, you see these second time starters that can really, really improve. There were some signs where this horse broke bad, Justin, and was only 3.5 lengths back at the second call. Albeit over at Laurel Park, but it doesn't matter. The win percentage, when I look at the 5 horse, I mean, it looks okay. It won last time out of, everything looks the same here, but except it's going up 18 points. This is where you get long shots all the time because horses like the 5 get overbet. It did break from the 2 hole. It did beat 9 other horses, and it does look like the horse to beat on paper, but, and a big but, you see some prices usually hit in races like this.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Baytown Butterfly has been facing tough company in racing. So my only comment there is this might show up a little bit weaker when I looked at the race, Scotty. And to your point, if the 5 might take money, this might be the stakes race to catch. Again, I think the 9 could be a GSR play. It is 1%, but again, this isn't a great. I didn't think this was necessarily a great stakes race when I looked at it. It did come up pretty competitive. You have multiple maidens. Fletcher ships, I think shipped in Yellow from Aqueduct, who's a maiden, and Rendon rides and gonna take money. And then you also had the 9 as second time starter shows up a maiden here in a stakes race, right? And I agree on the 4, 6, 8, but I thought, I didn't necessarily love the 1 second time out, did get the win, but the 2 has the experience, was kind of my point going back to the 2 horse. So, is the Scotty Longshot, did face some just tough races on the dirt over at Ellis Park, and it's been at Saratoga. So has talent. Madison rides. She's been doing a great job. I think though, pigtails up, the 5, the 3 yellow. I mean, they're probably going to take the money. Scotty, is I think what's going to happen, and but and then the 7 as well. I mean, that's the morning line there. So I don't think the 2 or the 9 will take money, and those are your prices, in my opinion. But if I was playing a horizontal, I'd probably use a few here, Scotty. Just I'm not going to just use a bunch of favorites. So
Tough race.
Yeah.
You're ready for the pick and pray tomorrow. Don't forget we have the show, the Road to the NHC. Me and David Harrison, your 2022 NHC champion. So that's at noon tomorrow Eastern time. And so Ryan's already got his picks. Ryan, send me your picks, and I might not have time to handicap. Ryan has just been handicapping this year for the first time. So.
I love that.
Yeah, but let's see here. So I agree on the morning line errors at GP for sure. Any thoughts on Del Mar morning line? Being made now by Jeff Siegel. He's above average. I think he's above average as well. I would agree with you, Dan. Yeah. What's up, Stephanie?
What up, Steph?
What up, Steph? Okay. So this is a rough race. This is not. Hopefully, we can find an angle here. I will say this for Jamie Ness: this horse broke from the rail, broke on top, and ran good. This is why you need the metrics, because some of these things, look at this horse is not going to get such an easy lead this time, right? Just not going. It's not going to happen. Now it does draw outside, but the 5 horse is super fast, piggy tails. And you could see the 5 and the 7 dueling. And then, so who comes from behind if that happens? Well, the 9 horse is back, but the horse broke bad. So maybe the simulator isn't going to catch that as much. I think this race is wide open. I would be spreading.
I do, again, Bytown Butterfly has all the experience and not, 0 for 4, but this is not, there's a lot of 2-year-olds here that don't. And has been not racing off of much, good sized fields as well. And I just think this race might show up a little bit easier, Scotty.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see maidens dropping in here, again, the 5, I don't think, I think fits for sure. But getting back to Social Fortress, I mean, it looks to be working well for Ness, right? Rodriguez rides, the win percent's the same. I mean, that horse romped first out by 11 lengths. So, makes sense that they show up here. GSR probably fine versus this group at 6.
But the 5's going. The 5 is going.
Yes,
there is absolutely zero chance that the 7 can afford to let the 5 just go. So that's the right. We did, Chuck.
Yes.
We absolutely had your horse. We were all over that horse. But there's no way the 7 can afford to let the 5 go. No chance.
Yeah.
That's a tough race. I'm not really leaning towards anybody. The only thing I would say is that the 1 horse could get off, or the 9 horse could get off at 20-1, and maybe there's a play there. Maybe look at the second time starters. Pletcher's 23% with second time starters. It only faced 4 horses last time out over at Belmont, but I mean, he thinks the horse is good enough to be in this stakes race. Why? For Rapoli Stables. So maybe play the owner. Maybe this horse is really good. Did it brushed at the gate, second best? You would imagine that some of these open company first-time starters are a lot better than what you would maybe see at Monmouth, Ellis Park, Monmouth, Delaware, Laurel. So from that perspective, then maybe the 3 horse is the horse for Rapoli Stables. Maybe the 3 is the horse you have to play. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, you might get a good price. I mean, as a maiden. But it is Fletcher. So, you don't know. I mean, it is good to see the morning line at 9-2. So maybe you get 3-1, 4-1.
All right, let's go to Woodbine, race number 10. Three-star Bruno workouts. Okay, let's see here. We'll get rid of the 4. We'll get rid of the 3, and now we can run the race. Hold on here. Boom. Let's see here. So the 1, look at the win percentages. Top win percentage is only 20%, and it's 3-2 on the EE morning line. No way. And I don't, from the 11 post with no speed, going to get bet to the favorite. Only 20% to win, 80% chance of losing. Come on. Chuck them out. No. Sorry.
I love that the top Scotty pick is the 7, Scotty. 12%, 9-1. Like it's, it 1-2 back in the 64, coming off a little layoff, but has a good bull at work back on the 28th. And so I thought this was the toughest race I think I looked at in the Woodbine Carn on Saturday, Scotty. Or yes, on Saturday. I thought it was just brutal. So I was like, well, I mean, this horse races, wins the race sim. There's a lot of speed up front. So I expect, if all these horses stay in here, I think they're going to be, booking it. The 2-horse has a GSR increase, a massive one, so gets back off the turf as well. So
that is a
but
really big. That's true, but the horse can't rate, and the 1 is very
I know.
fast.
I know. I'm with, to be honest, metaphysical. I think, gonna sit off is, has won here at 7 furlongs back in May, right? And was able in an 8-horse field, it's a little bit bigger, but was able to start off the pace. So win percent's only 12%. Trainer's not great. Did race in a grade 3 last out at this level, and ran 4th, but it's a brutal. I thought this was a very tough grade 3.
What about this horse? This looks like a synthetic horse. It's won 114,007 tries. Goes to this. I've never heard of her, Julia Carey, who's, by the way, 43%. So has won 3 of 7 races. First time taking over. Goes in a grade 3 race. It's an interesting, place to be. The bad performance this horse had was broke 11th. Other than that, it's really had no poor performances in a race. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this 6-horse in a wide open race who at the stretch, I'm going to judge these. Like, this is an absolute grab bag. Holy hell.
Yeah, it is. But you were spot on. I mean, she gets this horse from D'Amato, and maybe she used EquinEdge, Scotty, because she knew immediately to put this horse back on the synthetic. Probably saw something at Turfway or Golden Gate. Maybe watch those races. But however, the Little Red Feather Racing here too. So I guess maybe just the connections decided to ship up here for this. Emma Jane rides great for her too. I think was 23 or 27%, 29%. So Emma Jane gets off the 3, which makes sense. But yeah, I think I agree on the 6. I think in a wide open race like this, only 6% though. That's again, Contreras on the 7 is the one I look at to potentially score for a price.
Yeah. So I probably have to go with this 9-horse, to be honest with you. And by the way, I understand, Ryan, why you would kind of like the 3-horse. But sometimes it's not just about the race simulator. You have a horse that's 40-1 in the E morning line, 2% to win, has 0 speed, and it's going from 27% win to 2% win. I mean,
probably hit the board maybe in a vertical.
I mean, maybe in the exotics, but this the 9-horse is super. Look what the 9's been facing. Last time out against a 74 group at 11%. Now it is dropping to a 58 GSR, but none of these are really that great. The top GSR is the 2-horse, and the 2-horse seems to need the lead. So if you throw that out, and the 5-horse, probably the horse to beat. But that being said, it is going up in class, and it did well against a 62 group last time out. But and it is for Mark Casse. I'm going to tell you that probably the 5-horse is the horse to beat. And it's but I like the 5, 6, and 9 for me. But again, look at, if you throw out this grade 3 race and you look, this horse got 2nd in a grade 3 race here.
No, I know that. I'm telling you, the 7's going to win the race.
Yeah. It's definitely got a shot, but man, it's hard for me to take a horse like this, an optional claiming $50,000 just won, is supposed to win a grade 3. There's got to be a better horse than that, than the 5. There just has to be. I mean,
well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and this horse, oh, look. So the 11-horse is breaking from the 11 hole, but it's the only graded winner, I believe, in the race. That right there is enough to get this horse to win this race. For sure. That's actually one of my plays, actually. I missed that. But
that has won won a stakes race.
Won a graded race. No, won a graded
the 11.
Race.
You're talking
the 11 is the only one to win a graded race.
That showed
Only
up
one.
as a 74. I mean, if that showed up as a 74 too, that grade 3. So
but look, and it only lost by 2 lengths, breaking 8th in a grade 2. Now, and it was 6 to 7 wide. No. I don't care, post or not. I'm taking the 11.
7-11. There you go.
Tell me I'm not being belligerent. No, the 11 all day long. Like this is a grade 3. There's nobody even close to that. This horse just won the non-winners of 2 lifetime. Get out of here. No, 11. That's for me. All right. Anything you want to add to this?
No, I'm all over the 7s. I guess for 7-11's the exact of the weekend preview show in this race. 7-11. There you go.
Okay.
You can box it, and then it'll still pay great. So it's perfect.
I'm just going to pop in here with Ryan with the comment of
don't listen to Ryan. Don't listen to Ryan.
Oh man.
Okay, Saratoga. Let's see here. Race number 9. Okay, let's run this race. You be nice, Ryan.
Well, Mr. Buick's in town. I see riding measured time.
Yeah. $750,000 sword dancer stakes. I mean, it looks like 4 and 6 all day, right? But man, this race is crazy. It's all over the place.
Yeah, the 2 is flying.
Wow, look at that. So the 2 horse for Appleby won the grade 1. First time in the country. The Manhattan at 10% win. Going 9.5 furlongs. The GSR is a 90. I mean, for Godolphin, the only poor race this horse had was a 4th place finish in this grade 1 race. And it looks like the horse was headed. It looks like this horse is going to be forwardly placed. And the 4 is fast, Silver Knot. I mean, this is a fast horse. Now, it can rate 2, but it's not as good as the 2. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I don't think they mess around. I think the 2 horse takes it to the 4. For that reason, the 4 horse is even money. I'm absolutely 1,000% going to try to beat this 4.
Well, they're both Applebee's. Pratt riding the 4, and then William riding the 2. So yeah, I the 2. I would much prefer the 2 over the 4.
Yeah, no, no, I would imagine that measured time, they love measured time. Let's see here. They're both Godolphin horses, and they've both been fantastic, but William Buick is on the this is $1 million. This is a $750,000 race. And it looks like this horse can rate as well. Yeah, no, this 2 horse measured time looks like the real deal.
Yeah, that's where I landed, Scotty. Here, I think I see Rob talking about Soldier Rising maybe in the try. Jose rides for Christopher Clement. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that, but I thought this was all measured time, Scotty. It's not any. They're going 12. There are. I mean, Silver Knot, nice horse too, but and then
by the way, Jose Ortiz has been cold as heck over at Saratoga. This horse has won 4 races and 22 races with 11 seconds. I think Soldier Rising is a very nice horse, but not at this level of measured time. And I don't see it. And then even if you look at the Silver Knot, this is a nice horse, but not at the level that measured time is. Measured time is in a league above of these horses for sure. The Todd Pletcher horse here, the Castellano, was aboard in the last couple of races. That horse ran a pretty darn good race last time out with an 82 GSR. I think this horse, the longer the better at this level. I think that the 6 horse is a decent long shot, but I'm all over the 2 horse. 3 to 5 on the EE morning line. Nah, 2. You?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on the 2.
I mean, I think we need to give Farbridge a look, but like this horse has been in position right here every single time against even easier or similar, to be fair, in the Manhattan. No issues and got smoked by Measured Time.
Yeah.
Measured Time's just going to be cruising. Either it's on the lead. It'll be, first of all, there's no way he's holding the cards with these 2 horses. There's no way. He knows that the 4 can rate. There's no way. Watch, Measured Time could actually go gate to wire super easily.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah, and Jose Ortiz has been really cold here at Saratoga. So no, I would single the 2. All right, race number 10.
10.
Yep, let's go.
What happened here?
Grade 1 Ballerina handicap. What do you think of this race?
I thought Society might be tough, man. Society 4-1 on the morning line for Steve. Is the pace, won a 78 and an 82 SOR, last year going 7 furlongs. So, does have a lot of layoff lines, but it's dropping in into a grade 1 and did win grade 1 at Parks, but, that was a while ago, 2 years ago. But does look to, shows up here, is a good win percent, is the speed, I think could be dangerous, but I do think that there's other speed here as well, and money's gold. And, one on the lead or near the lead, but it's burned money. So I thought that those were both some players maybe up front. Johnny V rides money's gold for the first time. And so for Fletcher. And so I was very curious on that because, I thought maybe Johnny would have rode, but I've been riding money's gold just nonstop. So there's a little angle there. And then obviously there's the 3, which is 100% a player. And we could talk about the 5, but I thought that I didn't like the 5. I was against the 5, and somebody in the chat talks about liking the 5. So I'd be curious, Scotty, your perspective. But getting back to the 3, has won at 7, lightly raced. It's Sherry DeVoe has been incredible. She has been absolutely on fire all over the place. And I remember just going all the way back this year to Fairgrounds, she was on fire. It's just not stopped. So, I rides, so it makes sense. I thought was a legit player here, but from a non-favorite, I thought Society maybe could show up. And then I also thought, again, money's gold up front with Johnny V could surprise. That's where the speed's going to come from up there. And that's how I kind of looked at it, Scotty. The 2 horse at 2%, I don't think it's the same horse, Chi-Town Lady, but I don't think they're probably closing here. Chi-Town Lady can come out way off the pace, but maybe hits the board. But I don't think at a price, but I don't think it win. But I mainly tried to. I wasn't really on the 5, Scotty, so I was looking at 4, 3, 4, 8.
Well, that was Vava, and that was. I mean, those horses were moving yet not moving. Right. So, right. You know what I mean? Like that was pretty impressive here. But look at Society's great 7 wins. You're looking at a bunch of horses that like to win. And Asmussen's been on not doing so good at this Saratoga meet. But I mean, this is a super nice horse. I follow Celia, and I can tell you that Celia is just such a nice filly. She really is. She lost last time out, a tough race. But I mean, she certainly deserves a look. I think the race is won between the 3, 4, and 5. I don't give anybody else a shot, personally.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, personally. I mean, this was when you look at sprinters as well. Let's look at this. I mean, they're all working tremendously. But when you look at the GSR Plus grid, this horse has got. I mean, it might want to go longer. The 3-horse. Let's see here. I mean, these are just such nice horses. This one has a good number at 7 furlongs. Celia is no joke too, Justin. A 90,
I know.
right? Look at those 99s, 99, 99, 99, but maybe wants to go, for its best, go longer. I mean, this is, you know what I mean? Because like if you look at this is the shortest distance this horse has run since it broke its maiden, and it had to come from behind, and these are a lot tougher than that. So, and you look at this, the 4-horse seems. Look at the problem with the 4-horse for me is it's had 4 straight layoff lines. That's at this level to beat horses like this. And so for that reason, and the 5-horse maybe going to be far back, and the 3-horse is kind of tactical here. For that reason, I like the 3-horse to win this and pull this off and get the win.
So Chris brought up, Scotty, a good point. If Money's Gold runs Fridays, is Society dangerous up front? So I think both of them are, to be honest, they still think dangerous. Johnny V riding Money's Gold is again, Irad's been riding, but is lightly raced. Like in a race, there's going to be a big favorite here. But I'm on the 3 with you too, Scotty. I look at 3, 4, 8. I thought the 5, it didn't like the cutback, goes to 7. Burned Money, is a great trainer. Castellano rides, but didn't win last out. It wasn't 82. Did run a good race, but I don't know. I kind of thought maybe that the 5 maybe going just not to this caliber at grade 1, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't
think it's the caliber, but although it's only won a grade 2 here in the Madison at 7 furlongs. Look at the horses run 5 straight races at 7 furlongs, and the only blemish is the half a length loss in the grade 1 Madison. Look at this horse is just an absolute beast and doing really well right now. So I would just say this. It's a little interesting that the horse has not run since June. But look, 4-star work here, strong work here. I think she's going to find a way to get a win. But if the 8 scratches out of this race, then Society's going to have an easy lead. But look, Society had an easy lead against 4 other horses here, and this race looks a little bit tougher here. So, I mean, Society's a nice horse, no doubt about it. What a great race! I mean, this is another one that you have to, if you're a fan of horse racing, you just can't wait to watch this race. Celia's not out of this. I mean, no doubt about it. But I think the 3 is going to find a way to get this win. Yeah.
Yeah. And Rob brings up again, Celia has not run at 7 furlongs. Not an easy distance either. So that's why I feel like they're like kind of searching here. But, and that's how I just tried to get around. I mean, the price won't be bad if you like Celia. So, I mean, but
I agree. When you look and you get in the trainer's head, you're like, okay, what race am I going to put the horse in? All right, let's try 7 furlongs. Like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Whereas when you look at the 4-horse, you're like, I'm putting this horse in 7 furlongs. This grade 1 Ballerina is perfect. I mean, holy hell, look, the grade 3 Chicago came up just as tough as this grade 1 did. So you know what I mean? It's like it didn't seem like a stretch to me. And when you look at Society, Vava is just sitting right off Society on the inside. And Society was 37% last time out, now 24%. The 3 drops a little bit as well, but you can see the 3's tactical and loves 7 furlongs. Society had an easy lead last time out and still lost. I think all things being equal, I think the 3-horse is tactical, going to be sitting probably in 3rd place on the inside. And the 3 wins this race for fun. If the 8 goes with the 4, then I think the 3 wins pretty easily. And the 5-horse will get up late. So I think the EquinEdge picks have it right. I think it's 3-5.
Brad brought up the 7, and then Scotty, we can move on to race 11, but it does move back to 7 furlongs and ran really well in the 84 last out. So,
Yeah, I saw that. Like I
you
saw
know,
that. Yeah, it's 6 furlongs here at Saratoga. And look, the horse was 2.5 lengths back and barely lost the race. And not easy.
mhm.
It's not easy to actually come from behind. And the horse has only had 9 races and up and coming. I would agree with Brad. I think that the 7's a fair long shot. I agree.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, these horses are not going to come back to you. But that was an 82 field or 84 field. Like, holy hell.
No, I know. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I agree.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And look at
It's
this horse, Fair and Square. Fair and Square beat Money's Gold.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see here.
8% too. I mean, it's not, in a race like that, especially when the win percents are fairly spread around. 8%'s not any. It's nothing awful. I mean,
Yeah. Let's see here. 3 at the first call. You can see the 8 and 4 dueling, and the 3 is just sitting perfectly on the inside, along with the 8 horse and the 7 horse, and the 7 just kind of stops, and then there comes the 3. I think the 3 gets just a beautiful trip. Yep. Yep. Single to 3. I agree. All right. Race at Saratoga, race number 11. It's just amazing races this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, Saratoga is every race is a stakes race for New York breds. It's amazing.
Well, they're not all stakes. There is a lot of stakes, but they're all state bred. It's every race is state bred on Sunday.
I thought it was all stakes races. No,
no, not all of them.
Let me see here. Hold on here.
It's a cool day, though. I love that they do this. But yeah, see, there are a bunch of.
Oh, they're not all. You're right. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stakes races, and the rest are maiden races. Did you see that?
There's an allowance.
Oh, there's one. There's an allowance race here. There's 2 allowance races. Yeah, what a great day either way. Yeah. Let's see here. So, what do you think of this race? I mean, the GSR goes up for Gun Pilot, who disappointed last time out at 36% in a Grade 2 race. It's a Grade 1 winner. It won at 7%, but it dropped in GSR. So right. It did drop in GSR. Like you could win with a lower GSR at a lower level, but when you get to this upper level, if you take the race 2 back, 7 furlongs, Grade 1. Steve Asmussen again has been kind of cold though, but the 1 horse is the horse to beat for sure. But does draw the rail, and I will say, the horse is only 7% to win the Grade 1 race over at Churchill Downs, and horses that have been running at Churchill have been doing very well here at Saratoga.
Yeah, I thought Gun Pilot was a player. You have Baby Yoda, Scotty, is EquinEdge horse to watch silver on with the speed with Tyler up front. So, has won 2 of the last 3, has one at Saratoga, two back in the Grade 2 True North. So, that was the 76. This is 74, and then ran in an 80 for Belmont last out at Saratoga and ran 4th, only a 6 horse field, but that was an 80. So, I like the GSR. It goes up a little bit, getting back to 7. You have Tyler, you have him on the front end. They're sprinting on the dirt. I thought made a lot of sense as Scotty Longshot. I did think Gun Pilot was for sure a player, Scotty, but my pick in this race would be probably Baby Yoda, the 4. I thought the 6 was maybe a bit of a false favorite with Flavian Pratt. Getting back to Gun Pilot for sure looks like the real deal. I thought the 6 might have. It is working well though, I would say, for Mulligan, but Pratt rides. I just thought maybe he needed to improve here in the Grade 1. Did win a Grade 2 fairly well last out as the favorite, but I was like, I didn't necessarily love the 7 at a morning line angle with Irad, and Bauer does have a bullet work on the 7, Scotty. So I thought maybe the 7 could improve. I thought at Irad you're going to get a little price, but I'm not. I was on the 4 on top, just because I thought that the 6 was maybe a false morning line favorite. I think you could look at the 5 and 8 as well, but I like the 4 and Baby Yoda with Tyler.
Yeah, as you're talking, I've been looking at this race, and the 8 horse should get a good. There's not really a lot of speed in this race.
I know,
and, right? But like this is a jockey's race. Which jockey is going to be aggressive that can get the lead here? Because Mulligan is fast. It can rate a little bit. Going to get a very good trip, but the 7 horse is fast. Like this is a crazy good race. You're going to get some odds on horses you like, but if you look at the first call, look at this. If we sort it by the post position, you've got the 6 that could possibly get the lead. The 7 horse is fast. 4 horse is fast. The 2 horse is fast. The 4 might be in trouble unless it's just going to sit, which it doesn't normally do that, Justin, right? Normally this horse is right on the speed and it could get in between horses. That's the thing. And then when you look, like the 1 got spanked in the True North as the big favorite, and there's just something. Now the horse gets a better distance and maybe can be more patient, because maybe at the 7/8 distance, maybe the horse can relax a little bit. And 3 tries has earned $670,000. I think it's possible we could see a better effort from the 1 who could relax and sit a good trip. I think I'm going to go with the top pick. I'm going to go with the 1.
Yeah, I thought the 1 I didn't. Rob said that Brissett really has never won a grade 1. That would surprise me just hearing his name a lot. But, Brad liked the 8, talked about the 8. I did think I just worried Brad, similar to Scotty, I'm not sure how fast they're going to go. So, I guess, we'll try to, come off, and similar last time. That was the 78 at Churchill, right?
Yeah.
And so does cut back to 7, has only run once, but I still think Baby Yoda, Scotty. I think this horse has a lot of class, and in a race like this, and has speed and has class, and I just think Mott gonna have him ready, and I love Tyler too. So I think he'll give a good trip either way.
I'm going to have a hard time taking the 8 horse here, Brad, only because I don't like the drop in GSR. And the horse is running really good right now, draws an outside post with no speed and a big drop in GSR of 14 points. So for that reason, I'm going to play against the 8 horse, at least for the win. I think the 1's going to sit a nice trip. I really do think the 1's going to rebound from that last. I don't know what happened in the last race. Every horse deserves to have an excuse, but I have a feeling this horse might run better here. So I'm going to give the 1 another shot here in the 4 go. All right. Race number 12. We got 2 more races and then we're going to call it. So we've got
down. That's good.
the Alan Jerkins Memorial. Let's run this.
This was the toughest race I thought of this season.
Is it tough?
I thought it was. I understand the Prince of Monaco. So I mean, if you're about Baffert Monaco here, okay, but is only 21%. I just thought, based on when I looked at Sky, in the stretch, there's a lot of horses there. They're all there at the finish. And when I tried to look and dive in, I just didn't. I mean, if that Baffert Prince of Monaco go off at anywhere close to 2-1, like, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, don't get me wrong, but in my opinion, I was a play against Prince of Monaco here. So it just, then I was like, oh my gosh, this race is going to be nearly wide open. So there's a lot that you could go to.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to lean. When I sort the GSR, here's what I see. The first thing that hits me, and I like to sort all the metrics just to see if something pops up. But when I sort the GSR, I see the top 4 GSRs as the 4 of the 5 top win percentages. And right, and that's what I see. Now, The one horse clearly needs the lead and draws the rail, no matter what. That and drops from 32% to 11%. It's just not really a good place to be. Although it won easily last time out, I don't know that it's
And working well. Louis rides. I mean, he usually get that horse out of the gate and show speed. It's like, so that would be my only comment on the front end for him. I mean, big price. I mean, 11%
yeah.
in a grade one. I didn't necessarily love the one, but I mean, if he does get that horse out, and I mean, he's been working well, this horse is gonna go on the dirt. But
No doubt. No doubt. I think that when I look at the GSRs, so these are usually some of the better horses. What are we seeing? We're seeing a horse like Timberlake, who's got a decent pace number. It's a much tougher race. Second off the layoff. Look what this horse did in the Haskell. I mean, it was third. That wasn't a bad effort, and now cuts back in distance. Still maintains a 92. Has a couple of races at 7 furlongs. We got second in the Hopeful. Now that was a 2-year-old, so I don't give that as much credit, but I think the 6 horse is definitely worth a look. The 8 horse Bookham Dano. I mean, this horse has been killing it, but it is going from 49% to 10%. I don't love that. That being said, 2 races back at 7 furlongs here at Saratoga. Look what it did in the grade 1 at 7% win. This is that kind of race. Who's going to get the best trip? Who's going to get the best trip? Like this, would you take Prince of Monaco? I mean, is this horse that good? I mean, maybe it broke 10th. It was pinched at the start and barely lost against a grade 1.
I know.
You're like, that's pretty impressive, to be honest with you. But look at the layoff lines with this horse. What do you do with this horse?
I just don't. Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, and the price is not going to be good. I'm like, but there will be some speed up there, but it could be dangerous speed on the front end. I think, Brad, the 8 decided to come here instead of going to Charlestown, right? I mean, it's just a grade 1, 500,000, and Bookham Dano might have gotten there and comes here because there's as a good shot, right? So it's I thought the other Cox here for Brad Cox has Manny, the Scotty long shot, 12-1 on the EquinEdge morning line, has won 2 in a row and romped, and maybe can, when I look at the 5 Scotty and then I look at the 4, I'm like, yes, I get it with the 5 has won, but then didn't run in the juvenile, had a rough start last out, and I look at a 4 who's like, a young 3-year-old here who is greatly going to potentially improve as the other Cox, right? And it's been tactical, but there's a lot of speed there. I thought that Timberlake on the 6 that Chuck talked about, Florent Giroux, I do think the cutback will help Timberlake. I would agree there, Chuck. So I thought Scotty for sure had a look there. And then I ride for Fletcher, the 2, Speakeasy. And similar to the 4, Brad Cox, where Manny is riding, is similar, angle for me in the 2. And that just kind of going through his 1 at Saratoga. The GSR is fine at 73, running really well. This race was tough. I mean, you can go a lot of different ways. I was looking at 2, 4, 8, 6, I think, Scotty, trying to get around Prince of Monaco. Louis on the 1, maybe, like, if the Louis goes and that horse is just so fast, I mean, he might be gone. So, yeah.
I'm having a hard time with the 8 horse because of that non-graded stakes race at 49% win last time out. But look at that. It was an 80 on the SOR. Like, that race came up freaking tough, but it was only 3 other horses in the race. But it nonetheless, if we're looking at that, we have to give love to the 8 horse. And for that reason, this horse has been first or second. I think that the 8 horse for Ryan, good for Ryan, Derek Ryan, is obviously the best horse he's ever had. I think that this horse is probably something very special. And so in a very, very tough race, I'm going to take the top EquinEdge pick and go there. I think Prince of Monaco is going to become running on and get second or something like that because this horse just keeps on having trouble, has had 2 straight layoff lines. The best horse in the race is probably the 5, but I think I'm going to take a chance and just go with the 8 horse to win the race. There's a lot of speed in the race, and I think the 8's going to finish. So I think the 8.
Brother, that was amazing. We went a little bit extra long, and but
We have one
amazing.
more. I
Oh,
think
we
we have
do?
one more. I think so. We have. Yep, we have
Oh
another.
yeah,
Great,
there's
well, we have
Travers.
the
I
Travers.
forgot
We got
about
to
the
cover the
Travers.
Travers,
Yes.
and then we're done.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we've covered it. But yeah, we covered Friday and Saturday. We couldn't get to Saratoga on Sunday, but who knows? Maybe we'll do a show Sunday.
That is a good card at Saratoga. If you have not looked,
Amazing card.
all New York breds. It's very awesome. Oh, Chris,
Scotty,
we
you
appreciate.
want to do a Sunday show?
Well, I better talk it over with Anna first before I get myself in trouble. But yeah.
Yeah, well, we could definitely do that because the Sunday show is all state bred. I believe the Saturday card at Monmouth is all state bred as well. I think I saw Matt Ditterman tweet that out today. But yeah, let's talk.
It would be an absolute no-brainer if Naira gave us the ability to show live races. Then it would be a no-brainer.
Well, we could do a late, like last 5 in the early pick 4 at Del Mar. 2 tracks that won't let us show their stuff, even though all of our folks love it. So
yeah, but you know what? It would be really cool though. It would be neat to just cover one track and be able to really handicap it thoroughly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like handicap where everyone said, okay, we're only covering one track today. We're going to pre-handicap. We're going to have everything ready to go. We're going to you know what I mean? Like we're going to play rolling pick 3s and stuff like that. Like that's the kind of stuff that we were doing over at Sam Houston. Remember that, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, Scotty, here's what I'll tell you. Pour yourself a second glass, and when we get done, you go get clearance from Anna, and then we'll go from there.
If I poured a second glass, I wouldn't be up till Sunday.
All right, get to the Travers, guys.
All right, Justin.
Oh my goodness!
Listen, I recognize that
Torpedo
is facing males, but holy hell! I mean, that was a 90. In that Oaks race over at Saratoga. I mean, listen, and she did not have a great trip. And I recognize there was only 3 horses. She lunged, hit the gate, off slow. I mean, she's as nice a horse as we've seen in a long time, in my opinion.
You know who she reminds me of, Scotty? You'll have to remind me, but there was well, so I don't remember her, but in my time, there was the filly that ran in California in Santa Anita, and I'm like totally drawing a blank on her name, but I remember the one Saddlecloth, but she was so good. This was recently, within like the last, because it was maybe 6-8 years ago. I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, she's a legit horse. It's pretty special to get to see her run, to be honest.
It really is. Like what a great race this is. Like look at the win percentages. Like, and then when you go to the finish, they're within all 2 lengths of each other. Corporate Power looks a little outclassed, but other than that, look, I mean, that's insane. Like, what kind of race are we looking for? I mean, this is going to be insane. I don't know. I mean, that's within a length and a quarter of each other. And Anna Marie, by the way, is at 15%. Like I think Anna Marie. Listen, she's been second, or he's been second, or first or second in 7 tries. I mean, the problem with a horse like this is it doesn't have any speed. That's the problem. But he's going to win, and he's going to win at big odds. So you can't ignore this horse. Just keep playing this horse because you're going to get big odds because all this horse does is run every single time. So I'm a big fan of Anna Marie, but who's like Dornock is 9-1 on the EE morning line. Like what is happening here?
I know 5-2 on the morning line, but 9-1. I know. I mean, the system loved Torpedo Anna on the morning line, even money. So
now the GSR, like going 10 furlongs, to be fair, she is unproven going 10 furlongs, but based on what we've seen, I highly doubt 10 furlongs is going to be an issue. What about your Sierra Leone? I mean, Sierra Leone, the win percentage drops to 14%.
And Brad just actually said so much speed, and this is the race Sierra Leone gets up, but so many heartbreakers. And I really thought Sierra Leone, had just a great shot at Derby, right, and didn't get there, and all types of drama too. But then, but has been, I feel like, just running here, Flavian rides, for the third time, and they took Tyler off. And so, but it's not helping, I guess, is my point. So
Yeah.
I don't see it, but it could be, and Sierra Leone finally gets up. I'm not really a fan of fierceness here, Scotty. I see you're on the 8. I guess this is the cycle of the race that is the loss. It's win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. And then I view a loss here. I think this is too tough. I mean, I don't think fierceness just has it, up front. There is a lot of speed. I think Torpedo Anna, I think, she might just be the best here, to be honest. I mean, it is tough. Dornoch we didn't talk about, but, this is, with Dornoch, is the top pick, Scotty. Danny Gargan, just a great horse here. And I think in the Derby, I actually had, some interest on Dornoch, but did come back and win the Belmont and wins the Haskell, right? So, I think is legit for Luis Saez. I really do, but I don't love the morning line at all. And I think with all the speed, I just I think this might be Torpedo Anna, man.
I think the boys are overrated. They're all inconsistent. Sierra Leone has no speed. Since when does that work at Saratoga? Dornoch is fast as hell, and Fearness is fast as hell. Fearness has an 80 GSR. Look at last time the horse had an 80 GSR, was the same distance in the Kentucky Derby, ran like hell. And then Sierra Leone is also this horse comes from the clouds here at Saratoga. Look at this horse is going to finish, no question about it. But look, got second, got up against a 78 group. This is this group is way, way tougher than that. I think Torpedo Anna. I think this filly is going to beat the boys. I think this field of boys is overrated. I really do. I think Torpedo Anna is one of the nicest fillies that we've seen in years. Name one that's as good as her. Name one.
Yeah, I don't have one for you. I really don't. Somebody mentioned in the chat Beholder, and she was obviously great to watch, but that was not the one I was thinking of. I can't remember her name.
I would agree, by the way. I think she's like this. She's like she would be to me like Beholder. I would agree. Mandela's horse, Rachel Alexandra, that type of thing. A horse that is tactical and has speed. Look, she's going to be sitting right off of the 7, and watch. She has no problem. I think Fierceness is going to be near the lead. I don't know why the system is saying it. The fact that the system is saying that Fierceness has a 54 pace in comparison to the 3 and the 5 and the 7. I hate Fierceness in this race. Absolutely despise Fierceness in this race. No way. Fierceness, first of all, and I thought the same thing in the Florida Derby. I'm like, this horse is the type of horse that needs the lead, and when it doesn't clear, it doesn't win. And there is so much speed in this race, and the pace number is saying Fierceness is a 54. Fierceness is 5-1 the EE morning line. Absolutely not. The tactical horse is Torpedo Anna, and and Dornoch is 9-1 in the EE morning line. Now, I think it's going to be Torpedo Anna over, I think, Sierra Leone. That's what I think. 1-2.
Scotty, interesting comment from Brad in the chat. What a race. If Anna wins this, does she go to run in the Classic?
Absolutely. I think she's got to, I would think she's got to have one more prep race. I don't know what that would be in. I don't remember what races would be, but I think she would need one more prep race. But
she can go to Del Mar and run or go to Santa Anita and run against the Phillies. It's a prep. and then go to Del Mar.
Maybe. I don't know what they're thinking. But I will say, I think these are the best of the boys that we've seen, and the best boy is Sierra Leone, in my opinion. And this horse has no speed on this track. And Torpedo On is one of the best fillies that we've seen in years, and she's tactical. I think she's going to win. She's so nice. Look, did you guys see? There was a 90 on the SOR. Did you see the trouble she had? I thought she was done.
Mm-hmm.
And she wins by 4.5 lengths pulling away. I mean, she is so nice. She is so
I'm
nice.
not sure how they wouldn't take a shot. I mean, because I just think she's so special. Like,
they'll win this race, most likely. They'll win this race, and then she will definitely be in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Absolutely. You look at the only other female to do that is the great Zenyatta. And Torpedo Anna, obviously they have different styles, but Torpedo Anna is probably the Beholder was amazing, no doubt about it, for Mandela. But this is the nicest filly that I've seen in years for me. I agree with Anthony. I mean, the Sierra Leone doesn't change leads down the stretch. I mean, clearly a nice horse, but I think worth trying to beat. And then no speed. There's just a lot of reasons to try to beat Sierra Leone for the win. You got to believe that one of these really nice horses can win. It's really, to me, look at the speed on paper that Fierceness has. Always the top pace number in every race this horse is in, and has a 54 on the pace number. I mean, to me, that's a major negative. And then the other algorithm, the EE Morning Line, has this horse at 5-1. And then on top of that, the GSR goes from 99 to 80. Like, there is no reason in my mind, 12% win, there's no reason in my mind to play Fierceness.
Well, before we go, to your point of the boys being overrated, Chuck talked about batting down the Scotty long shot in the try. Heck yeah, man. I mean, these boys have been topped up, Scotty, just nonstop leading up to the Derby, right? And have never, they have followed through. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Fierceness won the Jim Dandy, last out. Sierra Leone hasn't necessarily, but, again, but that's why I think Torpedo Anna is just much the best here, Scotty, because to your point, there's not – Dornoch might be the major player here just because Dornoch's the one that came out of the 3-year-old group.
I'm taking 1-2-6. I think Anna Marie, with all the speed in there, with Sierra Leone, they'll be coming from behind.
Yeah.
And Torpedo Anna is going to get first run on the speed. The only reason I don't love batting down is the style. The style of the horse to be near the pace, and there's some here. For me, I'm not. But there's definitely a track bias over at Saratoga for speed, no doubt about it. And maybe that'll carry some of these horses. And it might carry Dornoch. It might. But that was a 90. When's the last time you saw a stakes race that was a 90?
I feel like it's predominantly in the filly races as they achieve those. I feel like they show up like that, but it's been a while, Scotty. You see in like the mid to high 80s, but to get in the 90s, not very often.
No, I've only seen it a couple of times. So it'd be, by the way, too, just make sure you're watching Alvarado. He has been absolutely on fire. Did you see him today too?
No.
And you're getting prices on his horses, but you might want to watch Junior all weekend long. He has just been, and he's been winning on price horses. So just watch him. So that's it. We're good. I mean,
all right, guys.
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks for spending time with us too, Eastern Time. Scotty, you'll be back on the air tomorrow in 12 hours and 6 minutes.
Yep.
With the road to the end with Richard Harrison. I will not be there with you. We've got the stretch run. We're going to finalize the times we're going to go on. We'll definitely be there for all the stakes races on Saturday afternoon up and through the Travers.
Yeah.
You guys killed it tonight, man. You went through Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No, we didn't go through
Almost done
Sunday.
3 hours.
We didn't cover Sunday, but we covered a lot through Friday and Saturday, and so
Well,
yeah.
let the good people know via Twitter whether you have a hall pass on Sunday for at least partial of the day or some of the day, and we'll go from there. But we'll be back tomorrow. Road to the NHC stretch run Saturday. We got the coaching class tomorrow night, which will be off the hook. Appreciate you all for joining.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Justin, great job, and Chris, thank you so much, and big shout out to the team. We appreciate you guys, and thank you to the EquinEdge community. You guys have a wonderful night. Kill it this weekend. Hopefully, we'll see you on the road to the NHC with David Harrison tomorrow. We'll see you guys later.
Good luck.